on the matter?
I feel like Ethan and Sam having a discussion could either be like, it could either be very cordial or they will be like yelling at each other and it'll be over in 2 seconds.
Is he a Christian or is he an atheist?
He says that he's like a theist, but not a.
Oh, he stopped coming in the room?
Yeah, people basically told him, dude, don't marry this shitcoin. Like, you gotta be careful.
Any regrets? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I think I would have ended up in a divorce a lot sooner because I was married for 25 years. But yeah, I probably would have ended up getting a divorce because I would have probably thought, okay, I'll go to strip joints, I'll go to different places to get these chicks to perform, and because I go deep when I go, pun intended.
Logical. Can we even know these things, and do they exist or not? So I appreciate him bringing this up, and this is one of the reasons why it sounds like you are persuaded by this to be a moral realist. This is one of the reasons why I'm not a moral realist. I think these are the grounding statements of what can be true, right? I don't think are there. But I think he brings up an interesting point that even for physicalism and elsewhere, like this is where somebody with the same intuition about what things must be.
Just make sure if you want to say I said something about you, make sure you have facts to prove it. I never said you mentioned Islam, so there was no reason to bring that up. Now that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact. I like the facts. Ask anybody in the room. Nobody said Zenny brought up Islam. It's a fact. Like, can we let it go?
I think what happened.
Nobody said Zenny.
I don't know. I don't like them.
Be nice to gay people. They're sick in the head.
No, fuck off.
Do we have to be nice to all gay people? I mean, do gay people have to be nice to all straight people? Like, how does that work?
No. Gay people deserve, special privileges to misbehave because they're mentally deficient.
He said, Moses said, this is what we do. And so, if you are saying that this is what God is saying, that Jesus is contradicting God, but we know Jesus isn't contradicting God, he is contradicting Moses. He said, he without sin cast the first stone. That's a catch-all. Which is to say, you're not going to have any innocent people getting killed because you can't do it. You don't have the... Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Again, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I don't disagree with it. I think it's just the wrong context.
King forever.
Yeah, I know. With his new job, he's so busy. Oh, yeah. Get up early.
I like the new vice president. He's really good looking.
Who's the new vice president?
JD Vance.
Oh, yeah. He seems okay. His wife is really cute.
His makeup is always, on fleek.
I saw a video or, a clip of his wife when he was, what do they call it, inauguration, I guess?
I literally found out his wife was South Asian and Hindu, a week ago. I was flabbergasted.
Why?
Because I thought he was just a racist white guy. I never would have imagined, him with
Is that why you voted for him?
Huh?
Okay, yeah, Ali, I called especially for you. Travis running. Yeah. Yeah. I did tell him everyone was behaving, and he said, oh, good, then I have to come in and call someone a retard, so that's good.
Perfect.
Excuse you, Uncle Ted. I'm sure that's why you voted for him, but one thing that I am, a little confused about is why couldn't he find a nice Brahmin wife? He had to go for a Dravidian one, but whatever makes him happy. At least his kids phenotypically look, Yum Naya.
What are we talking about?
You are like a fucking Nazi with your YouTube.
Wait, who are we talking about?
It's insane.
Who are we talking about?
Jaden Vance and his Dravidian wife, who he should have gone with a Brahmin, but at least his children are light-skinned enough. That's fucked, Fractal.
Fractal's calling Michael Jackson. He put some special payment.
Season Brahmin, guys.
No, we're not doing that.
Fractal, aren't you putting on skin lightening cream at night?
I mean, I stopped using it when I realized that there's a risk of cancer.
Okay, so until recently he had lightened his skin.
Bleach your asshole? It's okay, babe. I bleached my asshole. You're good.
Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I don't bleach anything, now I have to figure out something so I can be part of the party. I'm feeling left out. This is terrible.
We can get matching bleached asshole.
I saw it in a porn video, and her butthole looked so nice, and I was like, I want that. And ever since then...
Wait, do you think that's a good idea as a nurse to put bleach in your asshole?
Well, I don't go excessively. Like, I don't do it that hardcore, but yeah, I don't mind it. It's okay.
Wait, doesn't it feel yucky? Having bleach
No, it's cream.
What?
Yeah, it's cream you put on, and then you wipe it off after, like, 15-20 minutes. And it just
I can't understand that.
If you don't wipe it, it'll go through your skin. So you have to wipe.
Probably, but yeah, you still have to shower after. But at least I know I look good from behind.
Yo, I used Nair once.
How often is that necessary, really?
Yeah, you don't even let them go to your back door. Like, what's the point?
It's for me. I do it for me. Okay.
That's seriously something you're doing for you. Honestly, that's one of those things that you're seriously doing for you.
Yeah, I bleach my asshole for me.
There's no need for women to do anything to their buttholes.
You want a cute butthole, trust me.
There's no need for women to do anything to their buttholes.
Is that Akshay speaking?
Yeah.
Akshay, hi.
How you doing? Hey.
You're in support of this situation?
I mean, I'm not against it, but like I used Nair once and I got like terrible burns and I couldn't use Nair again. Like out of fear of burning.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Nair is so fucked.
And it's bad because you're waiting too long before you wipe it off.
There's no shame in like ugly buttholes, you know. Every butthole matters. And
wait, Fractal, do you do this too?
Use Nair or
bleach your tushy?
I don't like. I can't imagine.
I've never heard you stammer before. My God. Okay.
I mean, I'd like to bleach my tushy when I have my own income. I can't imagine spending my.
It's like nothing. You just buy the bleaching cream at like Walmart. It's like a little tub of it.
It's like the price of 2 chicken McNuggets. Doesn't sound
like
sense.
How do you do it by yourself?
You take a cotton thin, you put it in the bleach or like in the cream, then you wipe your asshole, you let it sit for like 10 minutes, and then you get in the shower, and your butthole's a little lighter, and you just keep chipping away at it.
Wait, so you don't...
What the hey? What are you doing? You're taking a mirror to look? Like, what is going on?
I mean, that's what I think you would do.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. I started doing this in like my 20s. I wanted to know what my asshole looked like when I was getting fucking behind.
I'm in so much pain. Oh my God.
So I started using, not like a lot, like I still have color. It's not like all skin tone.
Wait. So like I have pictures like of myself like age 20 through now, just like, you know, as I change, and you have a picture of your butthole changing.
I wanted to see what I look like in doggy. And so
oh my God! I can't. I promised Travi to be a normal room, and I couldn't hold it together.
So we tried out all the different,
How did they know I was listening to Yael talking about her asshole?
Tested by reflection, subject to correction by the counter-arguments of others, modified by the imagination, and by comparison with alternatives. Anti-realism.
I've been looking forward to playing this all day. I tell everybody about it. At work and stuff.
No.
Damn. Let's say something. Damn. I did a favor, damn. Listen.
What the fuck? What do you want? Another
Hold on, wait. Damn. Hold on, wait. No.
उसके साथ लाइक यू नो हालांकि उसने ना अब 75 ईयर के साथ.
What are you talking about, man?
I'm talking about me priding myself on giving my daughters the ammunition and sword that they need so that they.
The other part. I know that part. You said.
Yeah, no. Typically, women with daddy issues.
Update video on it. So.
Okay, Robert, I hope you enjoyed the Roger Mayhem show. That's it.
How long until your next cardiac arrest?
I've never had a
it depends how much. Oh no, you had 12. Yeah, you fat ass nigga. Yeah.
We've had cardiac.
Have you ever checked your own oil and tasted it?
Nigga, I absolutely black. I'm talking to somebody that's more relevant than
Oh
my
God. One of those guys. Yeah. What are you gonna do is stoner wood? Yeah. You tell me.
Wait, your takeaway is he's a stoner, dude.
No, my takeaway is like he's one of those guys, and this is on Clubhouse. It's fucking.
Wait.
Ask. Blood will remain. Not even. What's your time?
Eternal companion, help us pour out our hearts to you honestly and sincerely. With these prayers as our guide, help us feel close to you, dear God. Life makes warriors of us all. To emerge the victors, we must arm ourselves with the most potent of weapons. That weapon is prayer. Actions, no place too far. First tell me this, is there some secluded spot in the vicinity where I can go to pray? Reb Nachman asked. He had just arrived in Breslov, the town whose name the Breslov movement has borne ever since. I know of a place that would be most suitable, the Chassid replied, but it's quite far from here. Far, the Rebbe exclaimed. What do you mean by far? Far from the mind or from the heart? Reb Nachman later taught, when your heart yearns, distance is no obstacle. In praise, my God, I work and I strive, never knowing if I will succeed. You and only you can give hope to my dreams. With your help, I am spared wasted efforts. With your blessing, all hardship I endure can bear fruit. You and only you are the key to success in all that I do. Courage to grow, Almighty God, source of all the energy of life. Without you, I am helpless. Give me the courage, the physical drive, the emotional energy, and the spiritual will to risk in order to grow, to welcome every challenge as my life unfolds. Full life, O life of the world, grant me a full life, a life which may be considered long because it has been filled with right living, and considered rich because it has been filled with holy acts.
Coming up on stage,
Making ends meet, source of all sustenance, sustain me nowadays, or even living simply, working only to acquire life's most basic necessities, demands so much. In the black, help me see my way out of this monstrous tangle of debts. The inevitable outlay for my children's needs, those overwhelming expenses and bills, those inescapable medical expenditures, but most of all, dear God, help me keep my account with you in the black
100%. 100%.
body.
The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few.
There you go. You got it. And all of us patriots really need to really get down to business in our local community, because Trump can't do it all by himself. He can get it all signed up, but we all got to make sure we have the hands and feet on the ground. So us patriots really got to get involved. And 2026 will be here before you know it. We got to keep the Senate. We got to keep the House. We got to gain more seats. So whatever area you guys are in, whatever state, please get involved in the local GOP. Get some of those precinct captain seats. Just get involved.
Yep, 100%. Yo, King Cass, do you mind muting up, man? I'm getting some feedback from you. Thanks, King Cass. We've got a hand raised, Spiritual Freedom, but we also got a friend of mine who joined the stage, who I've known for quite some time, AdrianDittman.com. It's not the real Adrian Dittman, but...
What do you mean? I am the real Adrian Dittman. The fake Adrian Dittman, aka Elon Musk, is not the real Adrian Dittman. But I stand with Edward. I stand with Augustus. You know, I don't really believe in UFOs or aliens, but Augustus is the subject matter expert. So if there's somebody that I trust with regards to that topic, it's Augustus. But I would just say, you know, study your Bible, study your wisdom. And, you know, that if you can't do that, you got to do that. I mean, what's all this sci-fi stuff if we don't even understand psychology, philosophy, God? So, you know, there's a lot of good people here. God bless you all. I hope you have a fun evening.
Thanks, brother. It's good to hear your voice. Yeah, and, you know, there's a lot of subject matter experts on this topic with me today. Red Panda Koala, Astral, Chupacabra, Josh Freeman. These guys, we all know one another and bounce ideas off of one another, and you know these guys are also awesome. So thanks though for the props. I really appreciate it. We got a hand raised, Spiritual Freedom. What up, Spiritual Freedom?
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, love the conversation. Three things I want to throw out. One, what do y'all think about Dr. Michael Masters talking about that they are?
Oh, I love that guy. I love him.
What do y'all propose with the aliens being future humans?
I'm in that camp. 100%.
Word up. All right, so that was one of my questions. My next question would be, what do y'all think about? I've said this a few times, and I never can get a feedback. I don't know why. So I'll ask it to y'all. What do y'all think about what Mr. Bloodsoe said about this Easter, that in our DNA is going to be something switched on that's been suppressed during our whole lives? And the next one is, didn't Dave Grush come out and tell everybody where the bodies and the crafts are? Why ain't anybody following up on that alone? Appreciate you letting me have the mic.
Dude, you just went full...
Right?
Bro, there's so much ground to cover with that stuff, Spiritual Freedom. Let's go back to the first point you made about Dr. Michael Masters and the future humans. Listen, he's not the only one who's come out and said stuff like this. Like, in the Amy Estridge, rest in peace, Amy Estridge, she's, a whistleblower in a sense. And she said in her interview with Jeremy, alien scientist Reese, I think his last name is Reese.
That's what I call him anyway.
Yeah, so Jeremy interviews her, and she goes on to say that, the program is based out of Huntsville, Alabama, and that her home there, she gets at her father's home there, who was like a director at NASA, and they're all in on this anti-gravity information and research and program, and that, basically she gets a knock on the door from Hal Puthoff, and Hal Puthoff sits her and her father down and says that what the NHI are what they classify as P-47s and P-52s. And what that stands for is present plus 47,000 years into the future. Present plus 52,000 years into the future. And that really blew my mind. If that's true, then it really is going to reshape the nature of how we look at the nature of reality, right? Are some things in this world predetermined and out of our control, while others are more in our control? I mean, you want to have the feeling that you are in control of your own destiny, of your own life. But some things I think are up to God's will, and God's plan. That's how I look at it with predetermination, is that, some things are just out of your hands. And this could be their attempt with a higher sophisticated technology to be able to somehow keep things on track or turn things into a different track. Who knows, what their real agenda is. But, wow, what a guy Dr. Michael Masters is. I mean, he's talking about telepathic disclosure. He's talking about future humans. I mean, it's on the money. And I'm just pulling up supporting testimonies with these references to kind of further reinforce that. But rest in peace, Amy, man. What a tragedy.
Yeah, R.I.P. Tuba spoke with her boyfriend at the time.
Mark?
Yeah, talking about getting like Havana syndrome and stuff.
It's very weird.
Yeah, I interviewed Mark for a couple hours actually, and I've spoken with him so many times now.
Nice guy, great guy.
Real nice guy, man. Real good guy. And he's saying something similar. And I'll start getting into PSP with him, like the precognitive sentient phenomenon. And he's like, yeah, man, like, listen, there's technologies that can create time, what's the word?
Temporal,
like distortions, We haven't heard from you, Tupa. You're one of my favorite people on X.
It's like the opposite of synchronicity.
Right, synchronicities for sure. The floor.
Real quick, where did that last speaker say that Bledsoe Easter thing? Was that on that new Bledsoe said so? Or when did he say this about the whole DNA thing?
DNA activation?
Yeah. Didn't he do that on the Danny Jones podcast?
Oh, Danny Jones, okay.
He said this Easter that in our DNA, there's going to be like a light switch cut on. He don't know what it's about, but said the lady in white told him that.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. That's.
I think it's about alright, so people talk about the word psionic. Before it's come out recently, I would figure that psionic is a genetic thing with us where it has to do with our psychic abilities and that it's ingrained throughout humans. It doesn't matter. Like, there might be some people that are better than others, but we have this innate ability for precognition, precognitive dreams, like telepathy, all this stuff, and that we're becoming a psionic race where we have these abilities and it's just accepted that we have this stuff. We have the ability to do this.
I can concur with that, Astro. Well, then the last one was, if Dave Grush has told Congress where the bodies and the crafts are, why aren't they doing nothing to expose this? Like, I know a couple years ago, dude had a big fit about storming Area 51, and there was a big mess about that. Why can't we storm where, I'm not saying that we should, well, in my mind, I think we should, but why aren't Congress or anybody going after it when they're specifically telling the Congress the address of the place? I don't understand that. That alone right there should be top notch on everybody's list to do.
I don't think he ever actually got the chance to do that, bro. And correct me if I'm wrong, but he requested to get into a skiff to release that information, and he was never granted that skiff or series of skiffs.
Exactly, bro. He lost his clearance. Yeah. I don't ever remember hearing that dude again.
Look at this app though. It's X. You know, if you want to talk about telepathy or precognition or transmission of information through the airwaves. I mean, this is it. Like, it's not going to get any better than this technology, in my opinion.
No, it's going to get way better.
If I can share something with you, Augusta, and everyone else, from the origin of the Creator, the only created beings that exist are either angels or demons, and then we are also spirits, okay? So, God is the creator of all things. He created us in a trifold nature. We are spirits, we have a soul, and we live in a physical body. Demonic forces cannot do anything unless they have a physical body. That's what they call demon possession. So, if you want to think about any form of UFOs, these are the fallen angels. 2/3 of the angels in heaven decide to follow Lucifer when he decided to rebel against God. Every one of these fallen angels are the ones who are appearing as what you would call a UFO, but it's the creatures who have fallen. They put themselves as angels of light, okay? I understand, Paul. You guys can put your hands down, and as much thumbs down you want, but listen, God is in control. He is a spirit all day, every day. What we have to do from the natural, remember,
Explain
we
Kamala
are
Harris for 2
tripart
months.
beings. We have a physical body. The only way we connect to the three-dimensional world is through our 5 senses, guys. Okay? If you want to connect to God, you have to do that spiritually, because God is a spirit. He's not physical. Demonic forces are also not physical. So whatever you believe that you see or think that you see, the scripture clearly tells us, for we who believe walk by faith, not by the realm of the senses. For the things that are seen by the senses are temporal, and they are subject to change. That means everything that we do, I'm 61, I'm not 16 anymore. I'm getting closer to the cemetery, not further away. So what I share with people is this, and you guys can take it for
Wait,
whatever
excuse
it
me,
is.
Edward, does this explain Kamala Harris and Tim Waltz? I think what you're really saying is that these are demon-possessed people.
You know, Astro, you can say that. You know why? Because if you personally believe that a person who is formed in the belly of a womb could be taken out by abortion, then you are demonic. You are opening yourself up to the demonic world. You're killing the image of God. See, because we are created in his image. Instead of us trying to fight, because this is what the scripture tells us, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood. It's not about physical. For we wrestle against principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness in high places. That's Ephesians 6:10. You can look it up. Go back and look at all the mediums in the book of Numbers, in the book of Leviticus. I've been studying this guy since I was 16. I'm 61 years old. All the stuff that's going on, all the activity that's happening right now, I promise you it's all demonic forces. The Bible says in the last days the demonic activity will begin to pick up. It's doing it right now, according to Matthew 24. It's everywhere. And you know what? Men have opened themselves up to it. Just like in the days of Noah, just like in the days of Goliath, all these people have chosen to open themselves up to the spirit. Do you think the pedophile spirit or the homosexual spirit or all these other things, these are demonic forces. The Prince of Persia,
appreciate you, respect what you got to say, but I kind of disagree with, the whole NHI being demons thing. But we can agree to disagree with that. Like I said before, I'm in the camp that I think that it's actually future humans going back in time to our present day, and I don't know why, I don't know how.
So you think we figured out time travel at some point, and we've been able?
100%, dude.
Okay.
Look, I found the clip from Amy Estridge, whistleblower, rest in peace, who passed away, an untimely death. And this is a rabbit hole for people to go down. I mean, if you haven't heard of Amy Estridge yet, definitely look her up. Last name Estridge, Eskridge. Listen to what she's got to say, and you be the judge.
Can
They
I?
are you. They are me. They're from here, from the future. P47 is present plus 47,000 years. P52 is present plus 52,000 years. And basically, there's the calamity, right? So there's like a apocalypse scenario in the near future. It wipes out most of like everything, man. And there's the ones that go underground and survive. Right. And then there's the ones that somehow stay on the surface and miraculously don't die.
So you're telling me... Yeah, so that clip right there is her talking about basically what she was exposed to in her anti-gravity research adventure, and what, how Puthoff told her and her father. So that was a little clip from that. And
I did a quick sidebar in there, real quick sidebar. I'm sorry I missed your space earlier. I was like passed out. But did you notice on the Jesse Michaels version of the story, he makes it seem like Hal Puthoff was like the boss overseeing that operation. He's like, "Hey boss, we have to stop with that the psychic Guantanamo shit." Kind of interesting, right?
Hey, can I just?
Very interesting.
Can I just interrupt and say that with regards to the time travel aspect of aliens, there's in philosophy there's the eternal now. This is all there is. It's called the now. But also in terms of communication, all communication is hypnosis. But what I wanted to say is that it's joy now. We probably are souls and infinite and eternal. The thing is, it brings you back to the world now. We have a constitution. America itself and Trump's presidency and Kennedy getting into the office today and these deregulations with regards to the assassinations, Trump is opening up free speech in a way that we've never seen before. So, it truly is a joyful time, and I hope everybody is extremely happy about, the situation in America today, because I mean, this is like destiny manifest in so many ways. It's so apparent. And, I met Augustus. And the keyword is synchronicity. Like, there is a synchronicity happening, which implies there's not a speck of dust out of place in the whole universe, and that you need not worry about your future. I don't know. I'm just happy to be here with y'all.
That's deep. Damn, that's deep. All right, let's get to some hands, man. We've got some hands raised. Let's go to Lynn, who we haven't heard from yet.
Hi. Great space. I really enjoyed hearing from everybody in this space. You guys were talking about orbs and different craft sightings, and I don't know if I missed anybody speaking about seeing a cube. If you have, please let me know, because I'm always searching for people that have seen
We have
the
not
flying.
gotten there yet. We have not
Okay.
gotten there.
Shoot. Okay, well, if anybody has, let me know, because I'm always searching for people that have seen a flying cube, because I've seen one, and that was quite something. There was another gentleman that was talking about faith in God, which I find very interesting. And I was raised in a Christian household that left the faith in college and never really quite returned. I consider myself a spiritual person completely, but I have to say that over the last year, so since I started experiencing things in 2020, and over the last year, I started getting I think many people talk about this, but just the shadow beings and kind of the harassment by entities that are of dark, low nature. And I have to admit that during one of these evenings when this was happening, I was just getting so sick of it. And I called out to Jesus Christ and it stopped. So recently I've been going back to church and going back to church and just kind of exploring that. Not exactly sure where that all is going, and don't need to make any proclamations on that in that regard, but I do think it's worth mentioning. And I think a lot of people have mentioned that there's power in that name, and I've certainly seen that for myself. So I think that you know, whether you believe in source, God, creator, I think we're you know, just the path of love is a message to be celebrated, and I love to see everybody kind of supporting each other in this space. And anyways, thanks for listening.
Amen to that. And if we get any time, I'd love to read a little bit of the Bible in this space in front of all these people unapologetically. Babe, is there anything you want to tell the people while I got you here?
What's up with Julian Assange? When are we going to get a pardon on Julian Assange? That's what I want to tell the people.
It's a good point. Okay.
You know,
That's fair.
ringing the alarm has been working. Everybody needs to lose their shit over everything. Let's go!
Okay.
I think that's on the docket because if you remember, I did a little post the other day too. Who was it? Elon Musk said the hammer of justice is coming, and it was a screenshot of a news article that said John Podesta's friend who debunked Pizzagate arrested for raping like babies or some fucking crazy shit. And you know, that's all tied up in the WikiLeaks thing, Assange. You know, that's why they really went after him, right? After all that, they didn't go. They were already kind of crazy on him when it came to the Iraq, Afghanistan war footage leaks and whatnot. But yeah, it was after the DNC leak, and you know, he said that he basically said, I won't misquote him, but he basically alludes to seeing the clip that Seth Rich leaked those from the DNC, and so
I feel like he confirmed it. He basically all but said, you know, he strongly hinted and purposely avoided the phrasing, but he did say, he brought him up when asked, like, does anyone ever, you know what I mean? It was,
yeah, he brought him up. Yeah,
You gotta see it. Like the idea that Seth Rich leaked that was killed by MS-13 satanic gang members who were tied to the DNC is wild, but possible.
You know, GameTech has sources too, and he said that Seth Rich is gonna be a thing in this administration. So I think that's all tied in with Julian Assange too.
I hope it is, dude. I hope it is.
Never forget, Julian Assange said it's a huge scam, that they're taking the taxpayer dollars and borrowing and sending it to offshore banking. So there's probably $15 trillion sitting in the Caribbean just waiting for Trump and our military to go seize our assets again.
Say something.
Well then, so basically what I heard there is there's nothing officially going to be signed about Julian Assange. Or what about Edward Snowden? How about that one? Why does this man, an American hero, have to go hide out in the mountains of Russia? I mean, what a disgrace. What a disgrace.
I talked to them once.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I recorded the conversation.
Posted.
It's on my computer I threw away.
Well, what were you guys talking about before I got here?
UFOs,
Oh.
time travel, the nature of reality, disclosure.
Yeah, can I comment on that? Why is the American hero being persecuted? You know, really think about what the answer to that might be. Maybe our heroes and the heroes for the people who run the show aren't exactly the same thing. It's a good question, right? I want to go back to what Homeboy was saying. You know, with disclosure, I think 2 words, discretion and nuance. We have to have a really good sense for both of them. And so on the whole angels and demons thing, I always like to raise a point. What does the word demon even mean? Like, what does it actually tell us? Because I don't think
It's just bad. It's devil. I mean, you know, it's good and bad.
There is a living, thinking, breathing thing.
I agree, but they're bad people too, right? So like, he's not an angel doesn't make them inherently evil. There can be all kinds of.
Well, hold on. I think we have to. I mean, you really got to understand. We can't just throw those words around and assume that we know because of a pop culture like definition that there's like some kind of common sense understanding and consensus about what this is. Like, people's actions are always being influenced by, you know, these poles between the angelic and demonic forces. So people are, while they are responsible for choosing which path they go down, the things building the images in your head to like seduce you into one path or the other, those things are these things. That's what people think demons are. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree, but that's why I'm emphasizing nuance, because we're associating demonic with the polarity of evil, right? But there can be NHI that are not angels, but still not necessarily demonic, and that's an important detail because if you don't, consider that. So I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying, Tupac.
There's like some schools of thought will be like, yo, both are demonic, like because the real classification of them are like Luciferian and then Satanic.
You could also just say they're a bunch of federal unions that vote Democrat.
But Tupac, on that point, right? Another thing Edward said is that he doesn't think they influence us physically, and I want to contest that because there's a saying I like that the war is spiritual, but the attack is psychological. Okay, very important because
they use your hands.
Yeah, exactly. Your mind controls your body, so if they can attack your psychology and your mind, then does it make a difference if they're not physically interacting? So that's something to be mindful of. Right.
Absolutely. That's why you got to fortify yourself and then understand your choices. And there's all kinds of practices for this. But if you're kind of going with the flow a lot and just kind of not thinking through actions, you're almost a puppet to these other forces. And so thinking through things critically is super important. And kind of knowing yourself is also very important. But I'm not a Catholic or Christian or anything. I'm not here to tell you demons are real and stuff. But the way they define them, when you get down to it, they're just defining thoughts, and we don't know anything about thoughts and consciousness, so their definition is as good as any really right now. And I think that having that as a baseline is a smart choice. I like what Edward was saying, you know what I mean?
You have to look at this in terms of pronouns. These are words. You can't take them literally when somebody says demon or Satan or the devil or a vampire or a ghost. These are just words. There's good and bad in this world. Be on the side of good. That's all you got to know.
Because there's a couple things I think is Tupac. I think Augusta, I sent you something to your back channel. Actually, it's the scriptures and everything for what I was sharing. But this is what, guys, words are what we use to communicate. If you go even with God Himself, everything that exists was spoken into existence. Okay? God said it, it happened. God used words. So even though today we're right now on X, we're communicating with words. Whether you understand the words or you don't understand the words. This is what the scripture says. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. The word knowledge in Hebrew means discovery. Okay? We're a lack of discovery. We use terms. But if Jesus, who walked the earth, called out demons and cast them out of people, I am not going to go around and say that demons don't exist. Okay? But if he says, hold on, let me finish my thought. If he says that angels have fallen, okay, 2/3 of the angels rebelled against God.
I've seen some angels. Oh my God, you wouldn't believe how tight the waists are and how amazing.
That's what demons do. They go against order. And everything we all know right now, you look at your human body, just remember there's 60,000 miles of veins in every human body. We were fearfully and wonderfully created by God Himself in our mother's womb, fashionably knit. Okay? So there's no way in the world anybody going to sit back and say to Edward, you are just a fetus or a glob of just nothing. No. It's too much order in the world. Right now, we're in January. 365 and 1/4 days. We're actually in winter. It's happened all the time since the beginning of man. Okay, we have 12 seasons. How do we know that? Because we know that the sun orbits the earth. These things man has been introduced to. So all I wanted to do is think first from a natural viewpoint, but then think spiritually. You got to leave the realm of the senses, which is very difficult for us humans to do we're so focused on the natural that we forget the supernatural. That's what Lynn was talking about. She says she called upon the name of Jesus. Jesus is a powerful creator. He's the second person of the Godhead. That's powerful. Okay? That's why the scripture said there's only one name given among men, that at this name every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. Why? Because Jesus paid it all for everyone. Now, whether people believe that or not, I promise you this. We're all leaving here. We all got to give an account for our life, and I don't want to take that chance. So I'm going to stay with the side of God. If people want to do that and don't want to believe it, that's okay. Like I tell people, I didn't create anything. I'm part of the creation. Okay, I'm 61 years old. When I got here, everything was already here. But I'm going to look at what Jesus did in his life. My wife and I have been to Israel 3 times. I'm going to follow what Jesus did because he went about doing good and healing the sick and the brokenhearted. That's what I want us to think about. Because at the end of the day, no matter what's going on, he's coming back to set everything in order. And I land there. Go ahead, Esther. I think you want to share something.
Sure. So here's my point, right? I agree with all of that. I very well understand the power of words, and I agree it's a spirit. I agree with the spiritual stuff. In fact, I'm making the point you're making. Words are very important. That's why we have to be mindful that we're using the right words, because there's always a better word potentially you could be using. That's the point I'm making, is that when we use the word demon and angel, right, we are setting up 2 categories. This binary. You're either a good non-human intelligence or a bad non-human intelligence. But there could be a secret third thing, right? Like a neutral non-human intelligence that could be good or bad. This is why, exactly, words are very important. So that's what I'm raising.
It's not a non-binary thing. There's an expression in Yiddish which says "Alles ist God," all is God. Everyone here, it's like Groundhog Day. You are repeating yourself over and over again. The thing is anger management. Once you figure out that, then you're free from the infinite loop. And that's what Phil Connor in the Groundhog Day movie figured out. He got free from being angry, and then he was set free from purgatory.
Sure, but do you get the point I'm making? I'm trying to scientifically figure out, because there's a scientific reality here, okay? I agree these are spiritual things. I think angels and demons are very real, but just because something exists in a higher order reality doesn't mean it doesn't have a manifestation in our lower order reality. So if you want to be logically figuring out the UFO phenomenon, you have to have an eye for both those things, right? And the second thing I want to say with words, right? I agree that saying words are very powerful. When you invoke the name of Jesus, obviously that can have an effect. The point I want to raise, though, is how much of that power is coming from the word itself, and how much of that power is coming from the energy you're invoking and imbuing into that word.
UFO is the same thing as NLP, which is all communication is hypnosis. It's an acronym, but it really is meaningless until you can actually produce one, show one, hold one, smell one, touch one. I mean, to me, a beautiful woman is the goddess, and a Democrat is your local alien.
So let me ask you this question, and I appreciate it. So you guys may not know this, but I'm in the death care profession, okay? This is the question I'm going to have for everyone. When you die, are you still you?
Well, this is perfect segue, Edward. So for me, I've been diving into Darius J. Wright's teaching on astral projecting for us to learn that we're more than this body. We are high frequency angelic beings. And for me, I put no meaning behind no word. We have all been MK Ultra from ABCs. A cat is a cat because they told us what a cat is. Without them telling us what a cat is, there would be no meaning behind the word cat.
Well, if you say that, spiritual, I'm gonna ask the same question again. When we pass away from this physical body, are we still us?
We are our experiences.
Right, exactly. I think it comes down to how well you connected to yourself while you were living. How well did you know yourself? And I think that idea of what happens after we die, I think that very heavily ties into these time-traveling humans we're talking about, okay? And consider that possibility, right? But you're raising a really important point, Edward. Like, are you you? So to that point, like when we say life, a human has a life, but a cat also has a life, but they're different types of life, right? So when we die, it's not so much that we have ceased existing, but we've transitioned from one form of life as a human to another unknown type of life. There's still living, that's like undead, right? They're still alive in some sense. So that's a really interesting thing to think about, right? Like, what are we like? So I'll just realize that how you live is very important because it has consequences for your being.
Anybody hear me now? Hear me now speak the word of God. And behold, a woman who had suffered from a discharge of blood for 12 years came up behind him and touched the fringe, the hem of his garment. For she said to herself, if I only touch his garment, I will be made well. Jesus turned and said to her, he said, take heart, daughter. Your faith has made you well. And instantly, the woman was healed. Amen.
You know, another thing Jesus said was that if you only had a bit of faith to move this mountain, you tell this mountain to move and it would move. And if you look at that literally, you know, it's like one thing, but I think the real point of that is that there's tremendous power in faith if only you believe, right? We put so many limitations on what humans are capable of, what reality is, but is that really God's dictate or is that things we made up for ourselves, right? We haven't figured out anything about reality. As arrogant as we are thinking that we got it all pieced together, we have enough. There's a lot more to discover, I think. And so to that point, you know, when I initially came here, what I wanted to raise is it's all about perception, right? You look at something in a new lens and then there's a new life to it. There's a whole new world that becomes available. That's why, again, to Edward's point, words are very important because they shape how we, you know, view concepts, right? So.
But everybody's greatest power is in knowing who you are, which means where did you come from? And also stop thinking and end your problems, meaning that the more you think, the more you speak, the further from the truth you're going to get. Each and every one of you in this room is the truth, but it is through this communication hypnosis which essentially rehypnotizes you. In the silence or the meditational aspect of life, which is silence, just listen and witness and behold the miracle of life. And that is essentially the joy and the love of the law. And if you want to live, you should know the law.
And, you know, I would like to just play off of what Adrian Dittman said. You know, where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Well, this is what Darius J. Wright does. He astral projects out of his body, goes down the road to his buddy's house, reads the number on the chalkboard, gets back in his body, calls his buddy, the number on his chalkboard. Who in this room has done that? That's all I would like to ask.
I have a question for RPK.
Yes.
So, going down the rabbit hole, I'm going to change subjects here. I know we're getting deep, but going down the rabbit hole, and I've followed them all. Followed your show. If I had to pick the scenario of what we're looking at with UFOs, I come back from military to historical to interdimensional, ultra-terrestrial. I come back to Chris Bledsoe. His last interview, he's like, follow the evidence. He can produce the evidence at will. Nobody else can. I want to know if you had a gun to your head, let's say Bob Lazar with a gun to your head, what's your most likely scenario, what we're looking at?
Yeah, I'm sure like all you guys always bounce all around too. Some kind of NHI that's always been here. Probably more like interdimensional than alien, but I do think it's like a trickster type thing and you can't really trust what it is. There's that one book cover I posted the other day and I'll repost it again. It's like, yeah, these things could like really manipulate your feelings, your emotions. Even with Chris Bledsoe, like, even if you read his book by his own account, like, the lady entity is very manipulative and he still views it all through a very positive lens. But, like, by his own words, it's manipulative. And I'm sure, like, if we were to actually, like, examine all of their quote-unquote interactions without his lens, it's probably even worse. But, yeah, that kind of answers that. Thank you. And thanks for watching and the support.
Listen, all three-letter words are connected. Prove me wrong. It's called the all, which is God, which is a cat, which is a dog, which is a you, which is an I. There's a connection in three-letter words, but you guys have to know there's a double-edged sword in communication, which is it is hypnosis. if you really want to get free, you have to be in the now. That's just my opinion. I thank you all for listening to me. I'm rambling. God bless you all.
God bless you. Man, this has been one heck of a space. I'm really enjoying it. I hope you are too.
Augusta, I appreciate you, brother. You know that, right?
Yep, I know. And I appreciate you too. That's what inspired me to read the Word of God to 150 people live tonight. And that really just made my night. I've been
I love the verse I love what you read though, Augusta. I love it. See, there's power in that name. And I like what the gentleman said. Yeah, I like what the person said. The difference is that we are the crown of God's creation. We're the only part of creation that's created in His image. God is a spirit, and we are spirits. There's no other living creature that's created in God's image. When God created us, He spoke to Himself. Let us create man in our image and after our likeness. Genesis 1:26. Go look it up in the Hebrew. If you look up the word ish and isha, it's called you, men. You, in the Hebrew, is spirit. Man is flesh. Spirit inside man. That's where the word incarnation comes from. Incarnal flesh. Emmanuel. God with us. God among carnal people. Demonic forces also know that. Guys, they're created by God. They're spirits that decide to rebel. That's why they want to visit. They want to destroy God's creation. We're the highest level of God's creation. The scripture says even the demons and angels look into the affairs of men. Why? Because we are the crown of His creation. They want to do everything they can to destroy God's creation on earth, who is man, who has God's spirit within him. No other living creature on planet earth has God's spirit. God breathed into Adam, the first man, and man became a tongue-talking spirit. You can look it up for yourself.
That's deep.
Listen, wherever 2 or 3 people are gathered in the study of wisdom, the presence is there. The presence is amongst us right now. The presence is with America right now. This is the golden age.
Right. Sorry, I'm looking something up right now. Go ahead, whoever was doing it.
It's almost the golden age, but we have a lot of problems we got to sort through first. And I really support getting back to a spiritual grounding. We need to, because, spirituality is not just about church and, ethics. All that's important. But there's an unseen reality that's far vaster than the seen reality. Everything seen emerges from the unseen world, okay? And science just inherently does not have the tools to properly map out that realm. That's where intuition, psychic abilities, these are very important. So when the Western world decided that we're going to just pretend like all that's not real, we box ourselves out of like most of reality essentially. So
Not the real.
Right.
If you read the book of Psalms out loud, it can be a tremendous blessing for you personally, for your family, for your friends, for your neighbors, for your community, for your country. The wisdom is in the book. And there's many books on wisdom. If you read it out loud, it is neurolinguistic programming, and you will manifest it. So read out loud. Come to X, come to Clown House. Go and create recordings, reading scripture, reading sacred text. You'll change your life. You'll change the world.
Excuse me, folks, but all of you men are talking away, and you have 2 ladies that have their hands up. Mistress, you go first, please, and then I'll go second. Let me put my hand back up while you speak. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you, Stide. And thanks for letting me up to speak. I want to share something in relation to the nuts and bolts of these craft. In the book, I just put it up top. In the book, We Will Never Let You Down by Elena Denon, in the very back, I have found detailed blueprints of a Galactic Federation scout ship.
A Galactic Federation scout ship! They found the blueprints! Show me all the blueprints! Show me all the blueprints! Show me all the blueprints!
And how it effectively works on frequency. So the ability to shapeshift is done through consciousness.
So shape-shifting is done through consciousness. I flew 1 foot up and 2 feet forward. I don't know if you saw that hilarious clip with that crazy guy in New York City, the hunchback. Okay, so this has been Preservation of Human Race, aka Adrian Dittman's Disgrace. We're gonna call my friend Paul in Beverly Hills and see what's going on with the Burger King franchises.
The Google subscriber you have called is not available. Please leave a message after the tone.
Yo, Paul, it's John. Call me back. I missed your call back. All right. Let's call my friend Max.
Hey, this is Max Kluber. Thanks for calling.
Straight to voicemail. Straight to voicemail. He gets the message. If you go silent, you figured out the secret. Some people are really fast learners.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
Forwarded to voicemail. Okay, we're gonna call Chicken Hillary.
Hello?
Hello, Hillary. How are you?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait a minute. What are you doing?
We're calling Adrian, aka Elon Musk.
Right now?
Yeah.
I was listening to you. Am I on the live or something?
Yeah, you're on multiple lives.
Like Clubhouse or something?
Axe Clubhouse. Our friend Alan is here. And there's multiple YouTube viewers. Let me restart the YouTube so I can get you an audience.
Okay, give me an audience.
Maybe Abby will make an appearance as well, because they're the ones who wanted me to call you. They're like, "Oh, call your friend. Call that girl." I was like, they wanted to talk to you.
Okay.
But anyways, the point is keep posting the videos to Blue Sky because Elon is paying attention. He doesn't want to say what I'm doing, which is the most amazing thing.
It's hysterical.
Yeah.
That's almost like the whole funny part of it is like he's pretending to be somebody else and you're actually him, but you're filming him and he can't pretend he sees you.
Isn't that funny? It is so funny.
So fucked up. And then I swear to God, John, listen to me. I swear to God, sometimes his mom goes on there under different names.
Uh-huh.
And other people, I could recognize who they are.
I don't look at the audience. There's 600 people in there. It's just impossible.
Well, I don't look at it, but I can hear his mother's South African, pretentious, drawn out.
In his voice?
No, his mom, Mae Musk.
Anyways, yeah, I get it, but anyways, I mean, I don't wish him any ill will. Like, I think it's. Yeah, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't because that's like wishing ill will on yourself. I mean, you know.
No. You have no idea how bad he is. You have no
Well,
idea.
right now I don't have to listen to him, so I'm happy.
Right. He's a rotten person. He holds a grudge. John, he will hold a grudge. But the hysterical part is he can't acknowledge you. So what the hell is he going to do to you because he can't acknowledge you?
Well, I
He
keep
acknowledges you.
so basically I have people now going and putting in the chat comments and posting my videos, and they're saying, "Is this you, Adrian? Is this your YouTube account? Like, I don't understand. Who are you? Are you Elon Musk?" And posting my videos in the chat, and then he'll block them. And then, anyways, anything you say that draws attention to Adrian Dittman, aka AdrianDittman.com, like he will block. And but you can't stop it. So it's like at this point, I have so many videos of him. He's not live tonight, thank God. He'll be
I
live.
know. I was listening for a while, and I was like, "Oh my God!" It was that wrestling guy, and I was like, "I can't." Sometimes when Elon's talking and you're taping, I'll start listening because I want to tell you what the clip, and I'll fall asleep because I can't.
I know they go late.
He's so fucking boring.
I know,
it's
but
like-
if you just go on YouTube and type in Adrian Dittman, you see. Have you seen my bipolar manic episode butter steak video?
Oh my God. I always put title gore with it because I'm like, that was so butter steak. Elon eats a butter steak while burping. I don't know what the fuck he
Yeah,
said.
he was ripping some burps yesterday, and I didn't catch him. There are so many videos that I upload that would have been gangbusters, but I hit the daily limit, and so if I don't keep track of how many videos I upload, like I've lost track, and I've wasted, and lost a lot. A lot of it is on live stream, which can't be, you can snip it, but it's impossible to back.
If you
Too
would
much.
take one piece of advice for me, which you could do for free, download a watermark software. Because what's happening is other YouTube users
Mhm.
are watching you. That's who's fucking watching you. Other YouTube users in the press.
Well, it's all YouTubers. It's not the press. What I do is after I create my videos, I post a lot of them to Reddit. And so Elon also controls the Reddit threads related to
he
SpaceX,
does.
Tesla, etc. So, but my new accounts always get them in there, and it's like a lot of those will jump up to 400 views. Anyways, there's nothing really amazing. It's such a waste of time, but like the fact that he is, one of the
I
richest
know.
men in the world, and like
I love this.
and it's
I
not
love
on record, that these are not recorded rooms, and like I am managing all the clipping because Bly's the Shiba Inu guy, who seems like a nice young man, but he is a total yes man and he's a giggler, but God bless them all. Because if my clips make me money, do you have any idea how appreciative I am to Elon Musk?
Oh, good. Good. Yeah, get your bag, man. I hate him. And if you're going to get it at his expense, hell fucking to the yes.
It's not to his listen, maybe he would hire me, but the point is,
I wouldn't hire you.
you never say never, because sometimes your enemy becomes your best friend. Because if he wanted to hire me and pay me, I would turn them all private. I would delete them all, but I would need a contract, and a non-disclosure agreement, and I'll take the money and I'll move to Tel Aviv.
John.
I'm becoming trans. I've decided to become a Mexican woman.
Stop for 1 minute and let me finish a thought here.
Okay.
That jet tracking guy, that kid, who was like an MIT or whatever the fuck he was.
Is that his son?
No, that's the guy who tracked his jet and Elon got him banned. The jet tracking guy. He tracks all Elon's jets.
Oh yeah. What about him?
Elon offered him $5,000.
He's the cheapest guy in the world. I get it.
And the kid said, "I'll take it down if you give me a Tesla." And he wouldn't even give him a Tesla.
You wouldn't give him a Tesla? Yeah, he's that cheap.
So he's never going to fucking pay you, John.
No,
And
it's
he won't
okay.
grudge till the end of motherfucking.
Listen, when I was younger, guess what? I read the Forbes 500, and I registered domain names on the richest people in the world. And guess what? I sold some of those domain names to some of the richest people in the world. So, but people have tragic ends, and you never know what's going to happen when you eat so much butter steak and you do only 10 push-ups a day. His 10 push-up challenge a day, that's it, Elon. Have you seen the size of his gut? Have you seen the size of this man's gut? It is huge. It looks like he's pregnant with twins.
John, your audience wants to hear me. John, listen. Oh my God. First of all, oh my God. In that little group of his, I don't know, trainees who are eating butter steak and doing push-ups, and they were talking, and poor little Indian guy said, he's so sweet.
See, I think there's value even in my videos because, like, I think that once people realize it's Elon, like, they're gonna go back and watch all these and be like, dude, this is actually pretty funny.
It's hysterical. John, he said, in all seriousness, he said this like his life depended on, should I get an air freshener?
Should I get an air freshener? Okay, so if you go to YouTube and you type in Adrian Dittman, you see there, my first video shows up there. But it's not even Elon, which is kind of funny. It's from earlier. This is Elon here.
Of course, make the bands.
Listen, John.
Mouse was the one that did the program.
Watermark your stuff.
Oh no! Yes, right. You're right. Yeah, it was Mouse. Right. You're correct. That was one of the scenes. Yep. I was right. They're doing that part at work. Yeah. It will, of course, make the bands.
John.
Mouse likes me, but anyways, the whole thing is like our Adrian Dittman connection, and she posts my videos to Blue Sky. And she's like exposing him on Blue Sky, and she's showing all my content on Blue Sky. So she's doing great work for me. God bless her.
God bless America.
That's you, Chicken Hillary.
I know, yes, baby. Me. I recognize a star when I see one. And you are a star going to over.
Did you see this video? Because I was talking about you.
You.
This guy's like liberal Twitter.
No, it is Jack Dorsey's new
everything for me. Right. So to give you kind of understanding of ReZero.
Oh my God.
What do you think about Call Me Outa? Do you like Call Me Outa or do you not like Call Me Outa?
Oh God, I hate Call Me Outa. The worst person that knew.
But he's one of Elon's best programmers. So this is the thing, is like when you really have $900 billion, I mean, and you eat a buttered steak that you make for yourself, you got trust issues. Have you seen the meme that says that he was dating a CIA plant? Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, on Adrian Dittman, he claims that the CIA set him up with a plant to try to subvert him. It could be a joke, but maybe one of those chicks like was actually like a spy sent in to like get into his business because like he was that successful that the CIA sent a spy. Huh?
Oh, absolutely.
So anyways, I mean,
who you think it is. It's never who you think it is. I mean, they're just like civilian, like accountants. A lot of accountants are civilian alpha people.
anyways, I think it's a trip that I've been filming him since August of last year. And literally, so guess what I've been doing? I have been creating playlists. I don't know if it'll help draw more viewers, but I create Adrian Dittman X Elon Musk the conversation playlists, and I'm trying to do keyword optimization through the playlists.
John, listen to me. Number one, you got to watermark your stuff. All it has to say is, John, whatever your AdrianDittman.com.
I don't know. Watermarking stuff is not great advice. Like, that's just too much. It's all contained in the platform. If somebody, that's the thing, is nobody's going to take my shit. But to me, the fact that I can film an unrecorded room is literally like filming a television show.
You're doing all the work and they're getting all the money.
But yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. You're right. I'm catching his coattails, but he says he's the host. I'm the parasite. I'm okay with that relationship for right now. I think that being a parasite on Elon Musk is better to be a parasite on him than nobody else. I got no other good options to parasite on. To me, you know, could you imagine if Jeff Bezos, Sundar Pichai, or Mark Zuckerberg did what he does every night and did it on an unrecorded? It's crazy.
It's so crazy. It's beyond crazy, and it's catching up to him, I think.
Well, he's not healthy. He has a chronic cough. He doesn't sleep. He plays video games all night. He's clearly been away from his family since August. He's on there every night. So
his girlfriend, he took to the inauguration, Siobhan.
Mm-hmm.
He lives with her.
Well, he says that he was in the Oval Office during the signature on something. So, like, does that mean he's in residence in D.C. or where does the jet tracker show him now?
Well, you'll have to look it up. I'm not your secretary, hon.
I thought you're looking at these things. I thought I thought you're all in on this.
John, who built a blue sky car in a month and has 10,000 followers?
That's pretty
and
dope.
You look at my account, you know it's through hard work. I have like 3,000 posts.
Holy shit.
Okay, so don't talk to me about hard work.
Okay, I'm on the jet tracker. Let's see. 6 days ago, took off from West Palm Beach. Doesn't fucking.
Insane. Now listen, he lives with that weirdo Siobhan with the big weird eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a lunatic. But besides that, she has 3 kids. 2 of them are like retarded from him. And she wears a fake baby bump. They're all through IVF. She wears
What do you mean his 2 kids are retarded?
They forgot that I'm him.
John.
Listen, I gotta say, he is very funny because he does know a lot of internet. He's got so many stupid memories in his head from the internet that he's
stupid memory. His head is mush from drugs and alcohol. Okay.
Well, anyways, you could say it's mush, but yeah, I mean, he may have. See, this is the thing about recording him, which makes it so interesting because we all are on an expiration clock, and no one knows the future. So to like be able to record him every night in unrecorded spaces and just because when he goes, he really goes, and like you get so many clips out of it, it's crazy.
John, what I'm telling you now is you do have luck only strikes a couple times in life. It's kind of happened to me a couple times. And, you have to be there. You have to grab it. That's the first thing they teach you in the CIA. I'm not in the CIA.
Oh, this is what the CIA tells you. You got to grab it.
Action.
I'm doing as much as I can here by myself, and it's like I'm in a flow state, and to me, it's like I think I'm doing great work, but
you are doing great work.
Listen, I am so shadow banned. All of my accounts on X are shadow banned. Every one of them have the red flag warning. So it's very difficult. Listen, this is the craziest thing. It's like banging your head against a wall nonstop.
I know that you have support because, like, Destiny hates his fucking guts.
I don't care about somebody named Destiny. And get me on his YouTube. See, this is the thing. You should be my booking agent. Get me on people's shows, and I will talk about Adrian Dittman. And we will talk about Adrian Dittman on the show. We will be Adrian Dittman analysts.
Oh yeah, we could do it. Oh my God, people love me.
Yeah, we need to be together because,
I hate saying that.
You complete me, Chicken Hillary.
Your audience is probably thinking, who the hell does she think she is? I'm the fucking queen. Is who I am.
We've only got 2 viewers, unfortunately.
Bitch. But yeah, watermark number 1.
I can't watermark the videos. It's there. I'm not backing anything up. It's all straight to YouTube.
Then in the background, you have to put something.
Yeah, put a sign up, you think? Yeah.
Yeah, property of John Dittman or something. Did it really big with the website. This video is the property of John Dittman. There you go. Done.
Yeah.
A
I
big
could
sign.
do that. I know Home Depot sells like, blank
Yeah.
signs, or I could just go, I can go to anywhere to find one, but
Yeah, have them printed up so it's professional.
see, the thing
Go
is
to
the
Office Depot.
sign is only going to say subscribe now to Adrian Dittman. Like, it's a call to action. I could put a domain name on there or even a telephone number, but it's like, to what end, really? It's like,
John, I'm not going to help you if you don't take advice. You have to mark that work as yours, number one.
it is. It's on my phones. It's my work. It's in my phone. The phone. You know how many phones I have? I've got a fucking 100 phones over here. I don't. It's all contained in the phones.
John.
Listen to this. This is
Loving
Elon.
what is here and now, and understanding what that means in the future,
All work,
then you are nothing.
but you're not
You are the worst
getting
human
the money.
in ways that you don't even yet understand. You have failed at the key purpose.
I love this guy.
This thing that has been born of your very own flesh, supposed to be better than you. That is the thing.
Is that him? Is he alive?
When I have kids, I'm going to tell them that you're supposed to be better than me. If you can't be better than me, it's understandable.
Oh my God.
This video is called Elon Musk, Adrian Dittman Family Love Advice. That is one of my top videos on this account.
Your fucking titles are so on point too. The titles make them.
It's right, because I'm not a total retard yet, so I think my titles are good.
Your titles are superb. I fucking love your titles. I love your God videos, people like that. Only God is only God can do it. Amen. Whatever the hell that one was.
Yeah,
I
when
love
I'm
that so much.
dancing, yeah. Only
Yeah,
God
so-
can do it. Only God can do it. I like that is it's a
that
great
was
song.
Beautiful. I really liked it. Yeah, but please try to just take some of these positive steps to get the work.
No, you being on my show right now is a positive step, but we need to get on a bigger show. So, like, you need to use your Blue Sky account to reach out and say, hey, Adrian Dittman and I want to be on your podcast. Book Adrian Dittman because I own adriandittman.com. That is my Tumblr account where you can go to the library, go to the archive.
John, I have my own YouTube channel.
Great, but I'm going on stage at Zany's this Friday as Adrian Dittman. If you want to buy a ticket, the 10 p.m. show tickets are $420. It's adriandittman.com to buy the tickets. If you want to see my stand-up comedy routine.
No.
Not interested?
Public.
Not interested?
No, you introduce yourself to the public.
I am. I'm Adrian Dittman. I'm going on stage at the Chicago Theater Saturday night at 11 p.m. as Adrian Dittman. It's getting broadcast on WGN TV.
John, then post the link and I'll post it, okay?
Okay,
But
sounds
I'm
good.
just saying, and you don't ever listen to me, even though, for all his users and fans, tell John he has to apologize for calling me. He called me fat and ugly.
If you don't go to the gym by default, you're fat or you're skinny.
Am I ugly?
I don't know.
Oh, you never saw my picture.
I have no opinion on ugliness. I only consider things that are beautiful. My name is Adrian Dittman. And when I have children, I'm going to tell them to be better than me. Or at least as good as me.
I'm telling you, we could make a book out of clips. We could do memes. We could do everything. I can't do the work for you. I can't. Make
Just
you
keep the
work.
Blue Sky thing going because I think that'll be a great source of dopamine for them, to know that somebody has been tracking Elon Musk and it's all being put into Blue Sky. So
But people, here's the thing, John. You guys around. One day it's subscribe now, then it's subscribe today, then it's.
those are all calls to actions, and it's not one account. It's many accounts. That's the thing is I am decentralized all this, and it's spread around. So you can't take nothing down because there's just too much. There's too much. We're at critical mass now. Do you realize we have 1,000 videos of Elon Musk talking over the past 6 months? It's crazy.
John. Okay. John. one that has it on every night. Elon Musk live at what the fuck time it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Nobody, I mean, I get so lost. I thought I was listening to Elon. I don't know who the fuck I was listening to. Some lady from Texas.
I know that's the see. This is what also annoys him because there's all this mixed in shit, and he's like,
I know.
and so even to him, he's like, "What the fuck is all this? What the fuck?"
I know.
Like it's
Oh
crazy.
my God, I love when he goes off on pornography.
Yeah, I know. Everything is dramatic, which is so funny. It doesn't matter what it is, but he will make it so fucking dramatic. Oh my God, they fucking put me doing Sig Heil on the fucking Gigafactory in fucking Germany. This is why you fucking people are done. This is why you fucking people don't matter.
John?
I will have to postpone the conversation until tomorrow, but may stream some PoE2 later. He's like, listen, this guy must be the funniest guy in the world. Because I don't know, he's not. I bet you he's not a big spender, or everybody is so well taken care of. I bet you his wives just. Do you know how much his wives got in the separations, the divorces? Who knows?
Yeah.
Like, it must be incredible. Like did you read his biography or whatever it is? Does he talk about any of that?
It was all crap. Ask me anything about him, I can tell you. His first wife only got 10 million, and she had 5 kids with him, and 1 died. 6 total. Okay. 2 weeks later, he served her at her divorce counselor. She had no idea. 2 weeks later, he was engaged to Tallulah in the UK. He met her through Epstein. She was like 20 years old. She looks just like his first wife. So then that one was smart, didn't have his kids. And she married him and divorced him, got 10 million, then married him again and divorced him and got 16 million. Then he moved on to Grimes, fucked her up. Then he cheated on Grimes with his employee, Siobhan. And she's insane. And I think she really believes every word he says. And if you want to laugh your ass off, watch the C-SPAN of Bezos, who's a gentleman, and his wife, Ivanka, Elon, and Siobhan. They are looking, all the women are looking at her like, and all the guys are looking at him. And then Ivanka's husband comes over and saves her from Elon. It's like, oh my God. It is so obvious that they can't stand him, John. But his girlfriend that has babies that are all messed up, I don't know. She's wearing a baby bump again. And she wears a fake baby bump. I shouldn't laugh. When her surrogate undergoes IVF. She didn't give birth to the kid. The surrogate did, which is fine. But when the surrogate she wears a fake baby bump.
Well, I just want to quote Elon when he says, I mean, what are you leaving behind? If you're not leaving children behind and making things better, well, then what are you really doing? If you're not, what are you leaving behind is what you're doing.
His son, you told me once, and I don't know because you're always high, and I'm changing what you You told me once. You were high, but you told me once that his son was on the call.
No, I just figured it was like his son because.
It's him.
But anyways, it is.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Gonna go to see. Oh, and here's what kills me too, John.
Because he was like, if I was there, I would shake your hand.
And they must have amnesia.
Okay, let me see what the most viewed are is on here. Okay, this is here. Listen to this.
Please don't scroll.
Oh, see, that's not it.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
here.
You know, John. John,
Interesting, but okay. Not in the way that you think it does. Not in the way that you think it does. And if you do think that way, that's entirely on you, and you're entitled to think that, and that's perfectly fine. But like realistically speaking, no, we're not going down that route. We're not going down that route. Not down.
You don't have to get confused.
It's not a good time to be in politics, I'll tell you that much right now. Especially for those guys. So it gets a little bit of stress relief by way of such actions as excusable. It's understandable. You know? Goddamn.
Yeah, I can't.
These videos are cold.
And I thought, can you imagine if you lived with him and you had to listen to that?
Well, see, I would do it if I was getting paid because, like, that's what my life is like, anyways. Like, do you realize that, like, I've been doing this 6 months unpaid, you know, and like the thing is, it's an opportunity cost because, like, I have to listen to this shit, and it's so stupid and juvenile. It's a waste of my life. Therefore, I'd have to get compensated to do this work. But
I agree.
if I was doing this for a job, it would be the same thing. I'd still be they would be wasting my time like you can't believe. All kinds of just nonsense communication.
Be there.
Listen, in the workplace, because I'm a federal employee, the fucking bullshit communication you have to go through and the fucking loops and the amount of work you have to do, which is just communication work, is unbelievable. So, like, to me, it's like an opportunity cost, but it's like I see how both are just stupid. And so it's like,
Fucking stupid. And then you die.
I know, but at least I'm filming somebody worth $900 billion as opposed to like sitting in a fucking cubicle, you know, rotting in a cubicle, looking at some fucking federal website, making me watch a video for 3 hours to click a bunch of shit. It's retarded.
I know. But what I'm saying is you got to take the steps in the direction to make the money or shut up about it. And another thing, and you're not going to want to hear it, you got to lay off the drugs.
I don't do drugs. I smoke and I drink. That's called living. That's called being a human. That's what humans do. The point is, like, I really don't have a point. And I think that's, like, the funniest part about all of this is just, like, because, you know, when I heard him speak for the first time, my ears fucking, like, exploded. And I was like, motherfucker, that's fucking Elon Musk. Who the fuck is this guy? I'm like, who? And when he was like rude to me from the get-go, you know? And it was then that it was on. Like the moment he was instantaneously rude, I was like, it's on. This is fucking Elon. And I fucking went crazy. I was like, I'm gonna film this motherfucker. And I've been doing it for 6 months.
We are trying to bring down Elon.
You may be trying to bring down Elon. I'm trying to bring myself up, and in the process, I hope people get a laugh out of it.
I get a fucking laugh out of it. I enjoy it so much, but I want you to make money from it. So try to organize, like, you know, if you can't do a watermark, then do a sign or something. And just put a little copyright in the corner, and then put your website. That's all.
Okay.
Don't scare people away.
All communication is hypnosis. I mean, if I do all that, okay, great. I need you to be the guest, and we need to get on a bigger podcast discussing Adrian Dittman because you do know.
I don't want to be famous, John.
No, I just need your voice. You can be anonymous.
I don't want to be famous.
You don't have to worry about being famous. You know, after fame comes oblivion. You don't want to be obliviated.
John. For some fucking reason, people like me. I don't know why. But I'm over 50, and I don't know why. But they do. And they tend to get attached. And, I don't want any stalkers. I don't want any, I just...
Listen, this is all about a joke. Adrian Dittman. It's a joke. Like, it's an inside joke. And the people who tune in, you know, it's so stupid. And listening to Call Me Out in that horrible fucking German or whatever accent that is.
Oh, God.
You know, from an American perspective, you also have to realize that as a German himself, you know, he is like a national security risk in many ways. And it's so funny because these recordings, they would not pass
I know.
They would not
That's
pass.
why we had to
You
get
wouldn't.
them out there.
Yeah.
And you with 80,000 videos, and I'm sorry, but the websites and everything else, it's confusing.
It's one website, adriandittman.com.
John,
Go to adriandittman.com. Have you looked
John.
at the library section?
John, just try to clean it up a little bit. Name the thing, the time you have it every night, your channel. Elon Musk live.
I know. He says he
night.
goes live 7 p.m. Listen, I get all that. Like, I can create more marketing, like promotional things that like feature what the project's about. There's a lot of things, but you're not creating anything. You're just, giving me word advice as opposed to doing any action advice. I need more action advice from you. Less word advice. That means you're not listening. You're not listening. More action. More action. Less talk. No words. Not even any thinking. I just need action, which means creation. Which means spamming. Just up the spam. Create more spam for Adrian Dittman, ma'am. That's what we need. More spam, Chicken Hill. My ma'am.
Don't say that. Have you seen my Insta website?
No.
Okay. Well, take a look at my Insta website and then get back to me on the creator part. Okay?
Create an account called Adrian Dittman Live, and like live stream it
Oh
yourself.
my God, no! I want to get out of the Elon Musk business. For fuck's sake! I'm trying
You can't get out of the business. Once you discover the business, it's the biggest business you're ever going to discover.
If I tell you, you don't even believe how we met.
How did you meet Elon Musk?
I'm not telling you the story again.
Well, you have to save it for the All In podcast because congratulations, you're live with Jason Calacanis on the All In podcast discussing the secret identity of Elon Musk, aka Adrian Dittman.
Right now?
Yeah. There's 35,000 people watching this live stream.
Right now, John, are you shitting me?
Yeah, we're live on the All In podcast. This was an undercover investigation into the secret identity of Adrian Dittman, and you have confirmed it. And we want to thank you, Chicken Hillary.
Tell me I'm beautiful and I'm not fat.
We'll have to let the audience decide. Thanks for participating, Chicken Hillary. God bless you and have a great night. We thank you for joining us. God, I have so many recordings already on this phone. It's wild. This is January 2nd.
Because they're growing up, okay? Like the last I checked, they were probably like 8 years old or something. So not really a threat to anyone. But at this point, they're in the UK.
But every single one of those, they can just pick them up.
But the cities won't work with them. The states themselves will not work with them. Governor.
All right. Okay, that was fun, Robert. I hope you enjoyed. This has been the Adrian Dittman podcast. This is the X account known as Adrian Dittman H. Go to Adrian Dittman H on X or go to adriandittman.com. This is Adrian Dittman. Thanks, everybody.
She deserves, not what she needs.
Fair enough. Well said.
Marsha doesn't say anything well said. That is such false flattery. What ridiculous compliments. This guy doesn't know a pig from a fucking cow.
All his entrails gushed out, and became known to all, those dwelling in Jerusalem, so that the field is called in their own language, Ached Dama, that is the field of blood. For it is written in the book of the Psalms. So he's citing the Psalms, specifically demonstrating that this office is to be fulfilled, or is to have another take his place, his office, because it had already been prophesied that he was going to betray. Let his dwelling place be desolate, and let no one live in it, and let another take his office. Specifically, the bishopric. Therefore, of these men, so notice, if the setting is in the upper room with the...
Your hair's shiny like that, bro.
That's my biggest issue.
You look like Wayne
niggas like this,
nigga.
who clearly have arrested development. They think
Yo,
they're still
King
in high
Solomon,
school.
your forehead is crazy,
you can
bro.
hear, you can listen to him.
You
He
look
sounds
like
like
a
a
magic
fatherless
cube.
nigga. He sounds like
Nigga,
somebody
why
that
do you look like you made out of
he
clay?
wasn't raised with a father. You can hear all these niggas sound like they weren't raised with fathers. If I asked him to call his dad right now, he couldn't do it. Why would you?
Man, Dr. Solomon, haven't you seen Bosley Hair Care? You could get hair plugs and put a lot of chemicals on that head and grow a new patch of hair on that head. King Solomon need a crown for that head.
This month, we'll have like a 5-game win streak. And I'm curious if we're going to end up in the 4th seed by then. Because the Nuggets only got to lose twice.
Is he maybe?
Anna?
She lives in Jerusalem. She's like 50 years old. I don't know how she just had a baby. She's a single mother with a baby and she's 50. So don't ask me how she did it. I can't remember now. I can look it up. It's in my text messages. Go stand. I met her at dinner at Shabbos here. She's so smart. These women are so smart. She's also Russian, and she traced the development of the terrorism mentality from the Russian Bolsheviks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she lives in Jerusalem, apparently, in a tiny apartment with her son. I think they live in the Arab area too, in the east part of Jerusalem.
Oh, wow.
Her boy is. I guess there's some Orthodox who live there. What do you call them, Haredi?
Yeah.
So they they walk past Arabs every day. It's interesting. People are so fearless, right?
Yeah, it's impressive.
But don't you feel that kind of fearlessness is not that unusual?
I can probably not
in
accept it,
Israel?
at least in principle.
Yeah.
Are we not benefiting from this, or really it's net money out of our
And let's point out, Larry has put up a few very specific pieces of data. Thank you, Larry, for all the stuff you've thrown in there. The one he just put in here is a report by Congress on the cost to taxpayers of illegal immigration.
I was living in other
That's a pretty damn good piece there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. Appreciate that. But again, I'm just looking for that bottom line number. Because
This is a good big crop stand.
I learned from the best. I learned from the best. He wanted to have the balance in the room,
No, it's not like.
Hey, I'll let your boy, man. Holla at your boy, Al.
What's up, man? I was you too.
I don't know many cities I don't know many states I don't know. Maybe Florida. I don't know. Maybe San Francisco. Maybe Florida. I don't know. But it's a very bustling city that you can basically find everything that you need here. It's nice to live. If you want to raise family, it's a good place to live in.
It's flat, totally flat.
Yeah.
That I remember.
It's large. But the weather is a desert one.
Yeah, I happen to love that.
something that's very healing, I think, about the desert.
Yeah, totally right. For example, if you, I'm not talking about Beersheba, I'm talking, you know Arad, right? The city Arad.
However, and heaven and earth are set infinitely apart.
Maybe 30 minutes from Beersheba. From breathing, I forget the word for it. Like, you have a hard time to breathe.
Yeah, asthma, say.
Okay, this is the Adrian Dittman podcast.
Flying people in, bro, in the dead of night every night. And dropping them off in places.
Mr. Furley, wait. Border Patrol and CBP have processed approximate 13.5 million people under the Biden administration.
Yeah, that's 13.5 million people came, so that's 12 to 13 million people came in this country illegally. And that's not the people that were flown in, that's the border. They were flying people in every night and dropping them in the country, in the states.
Mean they're here illegally. You're missing.
They are illegal. Look, listen, hold on. No, bro. If the executive paroles them on mass parole and calls it not illegal, that's illegal, bro.
What I mean by 13.5 million people are not illegal is a substantial portion of that number applied for asylum and refugee status.
But they've applied under bullshit circumstances, homie.
Wait.
Financial and economic, there's no such thing.
Love of Christ, stop.
There's no such thing, bro.
Which means if you have dealt with that and you have a substantial number that have applied for refugee or asylum stays, 75% of those applicants will ultimately, through the judicial process, which the Constitution says we have to give them, will be told they do not have a valid reason to stay and they will be deported. But
that's not true.
Dude, stop. While they are in the middle of their legal hearings over asylum, and to remind you, asylum and refugee status are quite narrow. You can claim asylum and refugee status. Yes,
they're not.
Yes, they are.
Under Biden, they weren't. But let them talk. Let them talk. Let them talk, bro.
Pipe down. Again.
Pipe down. Can I respond after you finish?
Until I stop talking. Which will be soon.
Okay, but when you're finished, I can respond, right? I'll be quiet, but I can respond, right?
It will take me less time to stop.
Go ahead.
Again,
Go.
These folks, a substantial portion of them, have applied to these systems. Under United States law, they are allowed to stay in the country while this thing is being done out. You don't have to like that. You don't have to want that. You don't have to approve of that. But that is the law. That's what we do. So, those people are not all illegal because a bunch of them applied for this status, which if you pass what's known as a credible fear screening, meaning you tell somebody, hey, I am afraid for my life because of my religion, or I'm afraid for my life because of my politics, or better yet, I am afraid for my life because... Stop! Dude, do you want to stay in the room?
Stop.
No, that was me. I'm asking him to mute because he's hanging off of his mic, ready to interrupt you. Please mute yourself, Mr. Furley.
I got it. So, all right, these folks have the legal right to remain in the United States while that happens. Meaning, 13.5 million folks are not illegal immigrants. It is more complicated than that. And by not doing your due diligence, you make yourself sound like you don't know what you're talking about. Because to be quite frank,
Can I respond?
Not yet.
Can I respond? He said I can, Daniel. He said I can respond.
Furley.
All right, so be quiet then and let me respond, Daniel, because I shut it the fuck up. You muted me, right? You muted me, Daniel, so can I respond? So be quiet now, Marshall. Marshall, you just talked for 3 minutes. Let me talk, Marshall. Daniel, can you mute? Can you mute, Daniel? Marshall, can you mute? Can you mute Marshall and Daniel? You just said something. Can I respond? I cannot respond if Daniel and Marshall are not muted. Let me talk, Marshall and Daniel. First off, let me talk. You just said what you had to say. I shut it the fuck up. You muted me.
You don't know. And this Earth guy is Edmonds.
Sorry about
that. Good, I'll throw him out. That'll work.
Yeah, I removed him because he's just not. We had a very good conversation actually prior to this coming on the stage.
Welcome.
Motherfuckers.
Hey, World, are you familiar with this? Oh, I thought that was the same person. That's
Wait, hold on.
I don't know the book. Nigga, that's only because
one second.
I know Kwame Ture. I don't know the book.
Yo, one second. Yo,
I don't want to give you a second. Hurry up.
Please. Look,
No.
Ann, I know the Trump rooms are boring, but we're bored of Trump. So
You're very upset with a white lady. That's my her white
I just don't get it. Like,
let her get home.
He's a what?
He's a booker.
Oh, right.
So he knows his Hebrew.
So if I'm watching something and I'm reading subtitles, I can follow much better. So I reading is a lot better than my speech and hearing.
Auditory.
It's a question of practicing, right?
Yeah.
Do you have family over here?
I have 3 sisters. 2 in Yerushalayim and 1 in nearby.
Nice.
All in that area.
I may be asking you for some contacts, Mayor and Shimmy.
You go?
Yeah, I have to go. I've been wanting to go for a while. I've just been delaying.
I had a brother there, but his wife dragged him out.
Oh, where did you drag him to? U.S.?
Yeah, but that's the one that lives not far from the other side of the park.
Oh, yeah. So I was telling Shimmy that I took the political compass test and I tested out slightly left of center. So now if my kid tells me I'm too right wing, I just say, look, I tested it. I'm slightly left of center.
Where did he test? Is he like extreme left or?
Not extreme, but more than me. He kind of believes that politics is a swindle, essentially. I'm sure Adrian will sort of agree with this. He believes that they're manipulating us. So he doesn't trust either side.
Yeah.
That's a very classic Gen Z thing.
That's very good, very good. That's it. He's classic Gen Z.
But you don't know that until you actually go into Republican politics, and then you realize they're all just a bunch of Democrats.
But what does that mean? That means that they're
No, it means that the Democrats, I think that you could view Democrat and Republican as being gendered, or you could view it as being good versus evil. I think that's the dualistic yin yang Dao in our form of, representative republic or constitutional republic.
Wait, what does gender mean?
Meaning that I think the Democrats embody the feminine and the Republicans should, demonstrate or represent the masculine.
That's not a terrible way of looking at it metaphorically. It's like the Democrats are trying to be more nurturing, and the Republicans are trying to be more paternal and enforce the rules, sort of ish. That's what I'm getting from what you said.
Yeah, I think that and even Trump with that speech, like there's two genders, like he had to remind people, it's so.
Yeah. Daddy is saying, listen, you got to eat your broccoli, so let's stop fooling around here. You can't have Nutella for dinner. Even if you feel, like you're, a character from Lord of the Rings. Take off the costume and let's get back to making America great again. I don't know.
I definitely think it's like destiny because like when I see these photos of what's happening and who's there versus who could have been there, it definitely seems like those shoes are the right fit. Like it was destiny that this. I mean, it is just
for Trump.
For Trump, yeah. I mean, this is like.
Well, God saved his life to make America great, right?
Yeah, but people use MAGA as like a pejorative, and it's really just a cliche term which means nothing because this is his second run. Like this is the unfinished business portion.
Third run.
Well, I mean, second in terms of like the position. So
I just mean this is the most persistent.
it's wild.
Yeah, Mayor, were you kidding or were you serious or both?
He said it. I'm quoting him.
Yeah, I remember that from the speech. But frankly, around the Shabbos table with my rabbi, the Rebbitzin said, "God save." Right, this is right after it happened. She said, "God saved his life." How could you disagree with that?
Well,
the making America great again is I was just about to ask you, do you think we're entering a golden age? Probably a bit of hype like Morning in America, but.
Who said that? It's Morning in America.
Reagan. That's Reagan. Yeah, I forget the name of the guy who came up with it. He worked with Madison Avenue. That's a Madison Avenue line. I forget the guy's name. Morning in America is very famous. It's Morning in America. I mean, if you go around thinking that, you might want to get up and get out of bed and go. Did you see how happy Elon Musk was?
I mean, he was saying like, let's put a flag on the moon. I mean, America is a very Manifest Destiny has like a colonial, terrible term to it, but the idea of we will go in a covered wagon and figure out what's beyond that trail has always been in Americans' hearts, and it kind of died in the last 40 years. So, like that idea of putting a flag on Mars, like it was definitely a uplifting speech.
I agree. But let me add something in.
You realize that we added a state to this country pretty much every decade up until the 60s?
No, I hadn't thought about that.
It's been 60 years now we haven't added a state, but that was America's. Like buying Greenland sounds crazy today, but that's what America did. Like we kept adding states.
Excuse me, Mayor. It sounded crazy like last week, and this week it's like, not a bad idea.
This week it's like, you want Panama with that?
Yeah. Exactly. Let's put it. And by the way, if you got a minute, would you please put that flag on the moon for us? And then let's talk. I mean, Musk said it Mars. Musk is talking Mars.
How do you rate his communication? Because I asked this really wealthy guy I know who was big up at Citibank. First time around, he said Trump doesn't listen, and that's a pretty wise thing to say. But the second time around, it seems like his communication is so concise, to the point, positive, transformational. It's like I think people's jaws are just like dropped when you listen to him because it's like
He's getting better.
it's spot on. Like it's unbelievable. His like neural programming for the country and for the world is like, I mean, it's the reason why he won, but he went against such a such a stooge. But I mean, he is a master.
Positive, I think, is a major word. If you think about it, Obama was a very negative message, like hope and change. It was a really negative message. And he was an inspirational figure, and he got a lot of, not my vote, but he got a lot of people like inspired. And Trump came with a much more positive message. And then in 2020, Trump was not a positive message, especially after he lost. He became bitter. He looked for revenge. He learned his lesson. That was a very positive inauguration, and he said, despite all our challenges, we are a nation. We are a great nation. We're gonna. It was a much more uplifting, like a champion going back for a repeat, as opposed to I just 2020 was like this country's destroyed, and I'm gonna say that.
He's a learning machine, as it turns out. It's quite a good. That's quite a good feature. I mean, the first time in office, 2016, there was not one single credible person anywhere near him. The most credible person was somebody that who ever heard of Jeff Sessions from Alabama? Was that Alabama? Is that where he was? Yeah. Okay. And then
you mean during the campaign or his first administration?
During the campaign, like say when he announced when they announced he was the candidate at the Republican National Convention, there was like Scott Baio and Jeff Sessions and his family.
Nikki Haley already joined that. There were a few. It was skim, but there were some.
Okay, I'll accept Nikki. I hadn't even thought about her. She was great. But I mean, so the Democrats were like every star you could mention and every politician, right? I mean, Hillary is like inevitable. I mean, it's just, she measured the drapes already in the Oval Office, right? And he had nobody. And this time around, like people are running to him. The smartest people are running to Trump.
So when he says that God saved his life so he could save America, I mean, do you know how gaslighting that is to a lot of people who, maybe intellectual atheists when they hear things like that? Because it makes their alarm bells go off thinking like, oh my God, like what is about to happen? I mean, with all the historical context of even Napoleon, like what is this guy really gonna bring and do or say or institute? Like, because it is so transformational that could he blow it out of proportion and do something ridiculous,
like trying to extend his administration beyond 4 years? As I've spoken to somebody else about it, it's a non-zero possibility that he does that.
I mean, FDR is the one example, but that is such a bad example. And don't you think he would respect the precedent with Washington and the whole history of the whole freaking thing? Like, he doesn't seem like he's going to usurp that.
Well, you're saying Trump, it's unlikely, you're saying.
No way, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about cataclysmic world-changing events like the deployment of the military to the Middle East for a greater conflict with Iran or something big in that regards, some kinetic.
Nobody wants to do that.
He seems more trying to be the one that doesn't create a war. I don't see that as his big move.
I mean, if he does it, I think he's got to deal with Bibi. He wants Bibi to do it.
I see much more buying Greenland, getting more control over the Panama Canal, probably not straight out. I see him doing things like that a lot more than the Middle East. He doubled down pretty heavy. I'm the only president that hadn't started a war in the Middle East.
Okay, so if we combine your two theories, you get the Yetzer Hara in the fourth quarter at the end. That's when the war breaks out because that's the dog wagging the tail or the political movement to seize and maintain power, saying it's too dangerous to turn this over to, the next Democrat they
He's
feel.
72. The chances of him staying in power are basically zero. That's not what he wants. He couldn't go out losing. This way he won both elections. He has to campaign again. That's really not what it is. And starting a war in the Middle East is also not a legacy. Like a legacy would be to end the war. A legacy would be furthering the Abraham Accords if he can and if you make America larger, like these are like lasting legacies. Having another war in the Middle East is like what?
Going to Mars.
Going to Mars would be a huge legacy. Yeah.
He's got the Space Force. By the way, we do need to plant our flag, so to speak, in the waterways in the top of the world, if you see where Greenland is, because Russia and China are up there, and strategically it's actually really smart. I know we have bases there, but for all I know, maybe there's an advantage to actually sort of buying Greenland or whatever.
Well, here's the advantage I could think of. Is having bases there is important, but there's nothing stopping from a rival from having bases. If it's America, then you just got exclusivity.
Right. If you saw, you told all the DEI people in the government to stay home, and they're going to get on paid leave.
Yeah, that was epic.
It's epic.
What do you think?
Oh, go ahead.
What do you think about, enemies, foreign and domestic? I mean, if he's not going to do regime change and he's going to stabilize the economy and guarantee future, stability, I mean, what is the war internally then? I mean, is he
the Middle East?
No, meaning like A, the cultural war, but B, also what you would call legacy deep state, if there is such a thing, I mean, technically his head was almost blown off, most likely by an internal security apparatus, which is a legacy thing, and this whole declassification with Kennedy, etc., could be one long conspiracy. So it's like, is he going to, use lawfare, or even the power of, direct arrests? I mean, like, if you have governors who are going to aid and abet and create loopholes to violate the law, does he send in a general or the FBI to arrest a sitting mayor or a sitting governor? Like, what is the war internally?
I mean, you start to talk like Alan Watts or what do you call it, Philip K. Dick, Adrian, and Mayor and I are not like thinking fantasy world. We're talking like today and tomorrow, not like secretly taking over the mayor's office or something. Like, he made an alliance with Eric Adams. I voted for him. I like him. I think Eric Adams is going to change to Republican, by the way. He's going to pardon America. He's going to get the homeless immigrants out of the city. I mean, that's the kind of thing he's doing. He's probably, I think, eliminate, what's that tax thing called that he's not letting he didn't let the blue states deduct their federal taxes from the state.
Real estate tax cap is $10,000. That was definitely an attack on blue state. So you can either itemize or you can take a standard deduction in America. And itemizing, there's a couple of biggies. One of them is taxes. He capped it at $10,000. If you live in a blue state, your real estate tax is over $10,000. Forget about your income tax.
So don't you think he's gonna lower that or no?
You mean raise it? I would think
raise it. No, I think he wants to reduce taxes a lot. I think
his taxes expire. He's gonna have to do something about that.
Well, he's got both houses, so I mean, it should be on the list. No better time, right?
I'm wondering what he'll do. He might just extend it and not touch it. The thing is, last time he used political capital on this tax bill, and I don't think he's going to want to do that again. So, and the clock is ticking. It has to be done quickly because it has to be done before the 2025 tax year. So I'm conflicted on this one. He might do something, or he might just extend his for another 5 years. Because in order to do it fully, it takes a higher percentage. This is part of the reconciliation bill. So you can only do a tax code for a certain amount of years, or you have to do a full bill, which he has the House, but he has the House by one seat.
A friend of mine moved to England and got a very nice situation under COVID, and when the Labour government came in, it made it impossible for him to stay. That they dramatically increased the taxes. Essentially, they said you have to pay taxes in England and in the United States. So he'd actually he'd be underwater with taxes. He'd have to be obligated to pay more taxes than he was making. So he has to decant. He's got to split. I just mentioned that because I guess you can change the tax law more quickly in England than you can here.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, if this is the golden age, I mean, he has to get rid of a lot of the bureaucracy and the taxation, raise the, growth of the country. I mean, it's just common sense stuff. But I don't know that the culture is, you guys, we all witnessed how bad TDS is amongst people. It's still there. People have TDS bad, and it's not going away. So it's like it's a grind because the country, from at the media level, which is the communication level of the collective consciousness, is still going to just be insane anti-TDS, is a TDS content. So it's like, I don't know, will he go hyperbolic? Because that would be the play if it's not going. See, it's all about his anger. Like how, it's like the Uncle Steve show, which is really called How Angry Can I Make Uncle Steve? But how angry is Donald Trump going to get? Because to me, he seems like he's walking on a cloud. Like to me, his mental health seems unbelievable.
He's remarkably resilient. So, Mayor, what do you think? Like, here's a legacy. I guess it's impossible. But what if we, like, somehow reverse the trend to go deeper and deeper into debt?
I don't see him doing that. It's just not what he does.
It's not what anybody has ever done. No.
I would say that. The only person who got close to being president that was Cruz, who spoke about fiscal responsibility. I mean, Rand Paul spoke about it, but he didn't get anywhere close to being president.
But that's always the play. I mean, that is the whole point, is that you have that golden pen to write those checks. I mean, do you know how much money Biden passed out at the end? It's insane what you can do as the president.
It's really hard to lower the deficit because it's a downturn in order for lead your goal. So you're going to be making a lot of people unhappy in the short term. You know who did that here during Chris Christie did that, and he took a lot of flack for it.
He cut the teachers' pensions, or the public workers' pensions.
He cut a lot of things. He had he was like the fat guy with a big mouth that knew how to just say it, and he got away with more than what most people can. But it's really hard. He used to say things like, "It's hard to be the adult of the room and take away the punch bowl, but like you guys got to just stop spending."
He was remarkable. Like, you really never expect smart things. I mean, this is very prejudiced. You never expect smart things to come out of a fat person's mouth. Like, if you're so smart, why don't you, like, not look like that, But he was really, really clever. I wonder where he is right now, by the way. He did 2 terms, right? He must have.
He did 2 terms. He tried to go to Washington, and he got blocked by Kushner. He put Charles Kushner in prison. And tried to revenge.
Well, he shouldn't have done that. I guess he could not do it.
Should have done that.
You're not so sure? Yeah, he really couldn't. Didn't he have somebody killed or something?
I don't think he had somebody killed, but he had his brother-in-law blackmailed in a pretty ugly way.
The guy did a lot of time.
He did. He actually got a pretty sweetheart deal. No, I have to look it up. I think he got house arrest.
Listen, if you think that Trump is going to be fiscally responsible, you live on Mars already. The fact is,
I know. I'm just dreaming here.
I had an interesting question today. We pay out $1 trillion a year now in interest, which is what the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization, is. We're spending $2 trillion there. For the $1 trillion that we're passing out in interest or dividends to our lenders, who are they? Literally, not just the institutions, but who are the people that our government is now seriously monthly and annually indebted to? Like, who are they?
People who hold the bonds, like the Chinese.
I know it's super national, but I'm saying, like, it just seems to me like we're so disconnected from the fiscal crisis, which is right in front of us, and it's like we don't even accurately have a real depiction or analysis of the true situation. You can go to usdebtclock.org and ponder, but like when it really comes to the network of people, like that to me is unknown.
Well, there's a record of it. They sell the bonds. I mean, I forget the name, but there's a Fidelity or something. There's like the #1 holder in the United States.
I mean, it seems like government is an illusion in many ways. Like the government contracts with all the financial and security corporations that manage all the pensions, all the life insurance benefits. It's like it's not the government that does it. It's private banking institutions that does it.
He did some executive orders that like was way out of my consciousness. Now, I'm assuming most people also like he was overturning executive orders that were signed like looked like Johnson. Like they've been just executive orders for a long time. Yep. Yeah, the affirmative action bill. That was an executive order. It's not even like a bill. That's what I mean. The EO. I'm sorry. Yeah, the affirmative action EO from Johnson. From Johnson? That's crazy. If I asked you last week how many like things go on in the federal government that are just executive orders for decades and decades, like was that like within your consciousness of how strong it is? No, I would say 10 and under, because I figure the subsequent presidents, they want to reverse them. Right, and this went through Reagan, 2 Bushes, Trump last time, and they all like went with it. Don't forget Clinton, and I guess he would. So. Well, Clinton's a Democrat, but yeah. Obama. Yeah, but Obama would have signed it. What about the Equal Employment Opportunity Office, the EEOO, that I think Thomas was the head of? Was it him? Yeah, I think he was, actually. Right? Clarence Thomas was the head of it before he became Supreme Court Justice. What if there's another Supreme Court Justice?
You know, I saw a chart of I hate to interrupt your Supreme Court thing, but I saw a chart of the stock market growth by every president. Nixon had a -5% 4-year growth. Bill Clinton had the biggest and the best because of the dot-com boom. But isn't that all just the Federal Reserve doing quantitative easing or the expansion of the money supply to even expand Wall Street per se? So it's lax regulation, bigger Wall Street, bigger booms, bigger busts. So I don't know. It's just an interesting observation that it's a hand-in-hand president. Like the president and the Federal Reserve are holding hands the whole way through.
I just remember the days, I'm probably a little older than you, when Alan Greenspan was considered the greatest genius and the most powerful person. And all he would do he'd lower the interest rate by a couple of basis points. And everybody would go, he's a genius. Remember? And he never spoke clearly. Like, first of all, his words weren't clear, but he didn't even enunciate them. And everyone, like, yeah, that was
Well, here in Chicago at the Rosemont Convention Center, I went to something called the Learning Annex. And guess who was there? Donald Trump and Alan Greenspan. Alan was a speaker, and Trump was selling his, Trump University real estate, how to make money in real estate business kits for thousands of dollars. And I was like, this guy was the head of the Federal Reserve, huge, if he wanted to be he's here speaking at a Trump, college university. I was like, is this all? Am I losing my mind? I was like, this seems like it's
that's very funny. If you had tape of that, but the thing was, once we had the recession, everybody said it's your fault. You're an idiot. Like you were fooling us the whole time, and he had to like slink away. So his legacy is terrible.
Well, he reminds me of like our Yasser Arafat. He was always drooling like a catfish.
What does that mean?
Meaning that when you look at historical videos of Yasser Arafat giving press conferences, it's a fucking miracle that piece of shit ever even lived. I cannot believe that piece of shit was never even assassinated. Like, just everything about him is just fucking a miracle.
Supposedly he was like Castro. Sorry to interrupt. Supposedly he was like Castro, and he slept like in a different bed every night. They had him once, and in like the crosshairs of a rifle, and like it was like that close, and they decided not to shoot him. My friend went and interviewed him when he already was like completely falling apart in pieces from Parkinson's. He was so shaky that it was like he could barely look at the video. But he had a couple hours with him. He went all the way over there to do that.
I'm just saying, when you see these old presses, like, it's unbelievable that people even listened to him and took him seriously for so long and paid him so much attention. It just
And money.
blows the mind that this guy was able to hypnotize everybody with his bullshit. And his physical
Why?
appearance is so fucking vile. He looks literally like a Star Wars catfish.
He always looked terrible. Even when people, the pictures were so bad.
So in Arab culture, instead of looking like a big shot, it's considered admirable to look regular. You know?
Yeah, but he didn't look regular. He looked like rough. Like he always had stubble. Like
That's his
he
look.
didn't look like the common man. Yeah, he didn't look like the common man. He looked like a mess.
Do you know their formal attire includes a dagger and a gun? That's what they wear, like, to a wedding or something.
Yeah.
Do you know that? Like their classic, what's the word I'm looking for? Robe, their wardrobe, their thobe. He wanted to wear his pistol on the White House lawn when he shook hands with Rabin. But the White House said no. But that would have been the normal part of his attire. That's just like their formal. It's like a military guy, you know, in their dress uniform. That's what they wear.
That picture was a classic picture of the '90s of I think Rabin pushes Arafat towards Clinton, and they're all smiling.
I didn't remember that aspect of it. Why did he?
Yeah, I don't think they ever told us. They just said he playfully, like, they're all smiling, and he got like gave him like a little like nudge toward.
I guess another thing is, when you compare Muammar Gaddafi and his style and the way he lived compared to, Yasser and his stubble. I mean, maybe it's all vanity, but like the fact that he would come to America, the Libyan president, and have these giant like tents, and did he rent from Trump? I can't remember where he set up his harem, so to speak. But then you have Hillary and Obama, like, and what they did. I mean, took that country over. That country's still probably all kinds of fucked up. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. But like,
It's a failed state with open slave markets.
yeah, okay. And it has opposing forces internally, right? Backed by different segments of the global political establishment.
Yeah, I guess. He sort of dressed up like Liberace with makeup.
Yeah.
And like sort of a little bit girly kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And he
over
had
the top.
Yes, he had female guards.
Yeah, he had wild shit, but like such a horrible death. And I don't know if Hillary and Obama were the ones who like are even, primarily responsible for that. It could have been European.
Blumenthal, Adrian. Sidney Blumenthal. I'm not kidding.
But doesn't it also have to do with the France and basically the other European intelligences, conducting that entire
I
regime?
honestly don't know. I don't know, but to be
It's
honest,
got
I don't
it.
know that. So what was the horrible death? Did they cut him to pieces or something when they
They
opened
sodomized him with a pole. They desecrated his body. He was tortured to death.
Are you sure?
Didn't he dare them to kill him? Didn't he like get on national television like daring them to try to kill him like the week before?
Yeah, him and his sons were ready for whatever, but they got his ass quick.
That pole thing is an old form of torture that the Ottoman Turks used as well. It's really impalement. It goes up there and it goes through the top of you, and they can hang you there for days. And you have to avoid
Wait,
the
how
organ.
long does it take to die?
3 days, they said.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's in a book called "The Bridge Over the Drina" by Ivo Andrić, and it's about he won the Nobel Prize, this guy, and it's about Bosnia being taken over by the Turks, by the Ottoman Turks, and so in order to maintain civil order, they publicly tortured people, and they did that to this guy. I mean, I'm sorry to even say this. Do you mind that I'm going there? I'll stop.
No, I mean it's this is
Who did this to Gaddafi?
it was the rebels, whoever the hell's alive now from that carnage, because they had like another mini civil war in there, and they have all these opposing forces. It's all about the resources and the oil. I mean, I'm sure they're all have their own little little distribution network going. You know how much money is coming out of that country monthly? You know, hundreds of billions probably dollars worth of oil.
Do they have oil in Libya? I didn't even know.
Oh yeah, huge energy business. Everybody there was well to do. Huh?
Who's getting the oil money now?
It's all going to European energy export.
Who's running that?
European energy corporations.
Well, how do they maintain their control there? Do they have their own army?
Yeah, they have proxy forces that are probably aligned, and I think there's probably who knows. I don't know the situation on the ground, but I just know from what I've seen in the past that it's fragmented completely, and it must be wild. I mean, most people have no idea all these regime changes and how many people have fucking been obliterated. I mean, just imagine living in one of these cities, the next like Aleppo or Damascus. The next thing you know, like, I mean, it's wild. I mean, the world has changed so much.
What's that, man?
We're definitely living through a lot of history. I wonder what they knew in Damascus, because we weren't getting news because the news was controlled completely by Assad. But I don't know if the locals were taken as surprised as we were.
I definitely didn't see this coming. Did anybody have this on their radar? I had fucking no clue.
No, we didn't have it on our radar because we weren't getting news out of Syria. But I don't know. But I would not be surprised at all if the locals were like, yeah, we watched the soldiers packing up. Like we saw people weren't getting they weren't going to put this in the papers. They don't have free press.
I love how Trump.
The locals knew and didn't know.
I love how the only news we know is Trump comes out and says, Erdogan did this, Turkey did this, Turkey sent them. And I'm like, I just fucking love Trump so much. I don't know what to say, but like just the hard reset on what has been going on for 4 years and the fact that Kamala and Tim we could have been listening to them now. Like, I honestly would have ducked out. Like, I would have gone to Israel maybe if Kamala became president and given up, because that would have been too much to psychologically endure.
Abu bin Baghdadi died like a dog. He died crying. What's that?
That internet thing is one of the fun. That's internet at its best.
What do you mean intimate?
Internet.
Oh, internet thing.
That where they juxtapose Obama. That's just. That's what the internet was created for.
Yeah. He died crying like a dog.
She could say, like a normal person, knock knock, who's there? If I come in, boom, something.
What is that you're saying?
That's part of that clip. You don't know what I'm talking about? It's next to Obama. They keep going back and forth in Obama. And
I know. Well, Obama's going, I'd like to inform the American people that at 8:26 p.m. the American forces have...
He's been eliminated. He died like a dog.
Yeah, he died crying like a dog because he was a dog.
Beautiful dog.
A beautiful dog. Beautiful dog.
I had no idea. He's like, and the credit should go to the Marines. I don't get any credit. I never do. It's okay.
It's about him. It's all about him. Like he killed him. Oh my God. This is just beginning. It's day 4. Is it day 4?
Is it? It's last. Well, oh, maybe. Well, let's count Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. Fuck.
He renamed the Gulf of Mexico.
And Mount McKinley, some of the things he did were just bizarre. Like that one was just interesting.
What did he rename Mount McKinley?
He renamed it Mount McKinley because I think it was Biden who named it after like a native Hawaiian name.
Who had renamed it? This is in Alaska. It's Alaska. It's in Alaska, not in.
No, Hawaii. Yeah. He named it after native Alaska. Right. So he. Yeah, it was like named like one of these like unpronounceable names, and he flipped it back to Mount McKinley.
That is so funny. I didn't even know Obama had done that.
I know. I think it was Biden.
What a dumb thing. What a dumb thing to do.
Well, it was part of. That's
acknowledging late native land.
Yeah, it was part of the whole 2020 of like. Remember when they were signing their emails like "I live on stolen land, don't play stolen people."
That's still going on. When I come into clubhouse rooms now, I say I'd like to do a land acknowledgement. Moshe Rubenstein used to live here. He was a tailor.
It's definitely lost its fever. It doesn't have the same, like, that was, 2020 was like the year for that. Now it's like much calmer.
Now, if I say this, if I come into a room and say, please respect my pronouns, everybody laughs. That's like 4 years. I can't even believe it. I'm glad we're talking about it because I haven't really put it into perspective. And it's either like the guys at synagogue. I like live astride two worlds. Number one, like the Upper West Side Jewish liberal Zabar's people, you know? Do you know what that is?
I never heard the term Zabars. I know Upper West Side liberal Jews. I just don't know Zabars.
You never heard the term Zabars?
No.
Zabar's is like the most famous locks store on the Upper West Side. So all the Jews, it's like they're satellites around Zabar's. It's basically the neighborhood is Zabar's. It's Sol Zabar, you know, he sells smoked fish and lox and gourmet items and bagels and cream cheese. And it's like, you know, like all the literary types go there for their lox on Sunday morning. It's like a ritual.
Okay.
I used to live
so
in.
You think that's one side, and your other side is Chabad?
Yeah, exactly. The other, well, it's Chabad and the BTs that have gravitated to it and become from. You know what BT is?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and they're all like, yeah, Trump, great, yeah, great, Trump, yeah, great. and then it's like my first wife is like, he's making the Nazi salute. He's, you know.
Oh my gosh. Those people are nuts.
I know. Well, wait, what was the other stuff that they, like, I don't know, whatever little, like, tiny little semiotic crumb that they can.
State this month was freaking out over alleged stipulations that Trump was putting on the relief effort to California.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I didn't spend a lot of time. I mean, the only question that should be asked is what are the stipulations? Because that's, you know, that's like all of that. So I did like a quick search, and I found some left-wing media, you know, mainstream left-wing media, screaming about it. But I haven't read anything that says what they were. Again,
I don't think I can even see that place anymore. Number one, that deep state Ben thing, Ben Mendelsohn, I guess I'll say his name. You know, he got Roger clipped. Again, for the third time.
Roger went after him today.
I was there for part of it, and it's like I'm not going to stay for much because I don't really. I happen to love Roger, but I'm not that interested in him. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I'm not that interested in his beefs. Like, I don't care that people.
I like his rooms. I wasn't really interested in his. But it came all about that. I would have rather them discuss. I think we would get together when they were talking about we were discussing the Fourth Amendment.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to those oral arguments, but I think we're going to enjoy listening to this. But, I did join Charlo State because, like, why not? But it wasn't, like, the highlight of, like, wasn't the best conversation.
You joined what?
He made a house, Charlo State. What's
it called? I didn't even see it. How did I even miss it? What was I doing?
I don't know, but that was Roger's vendetta. He made a house called Shallow State, and we're going to teach Ben how to have a enjoyable, relaxed, happy conversation. That was his, like, vendetta.
But I don't understand how they were able to get him clipped, unless it's really wrong to cop. Like, how did he do it so fast? What does Ben know? What tricks does he know to pull to get him clipped?
It's just mass reporting. Believe me, I've had 100 accounts clipped, and you go to RogerMayhem.com to see all my Adrian Dittman movies.
Oh, I forgot you two hate each other.
No way, I don't hate him. I love listening to him. His argumentation style and how he, basically his Socratic method is just awesome to listen to, even for, because it's logical, it's common sense. I mean, have you ever gone on YouTube and typed in Roger Mayhem and seen his, like, podcast interviews? I mean, he knows a lot about libertarian economics and politics.
He has podcast interviews?
Yeah, Roger Mayhem is like his non-playable character. That's why I created RogerMayhem.com, or I rebranded my accounts to Roger Mayhem and they clipped me immediately. I'm like, how can they clip a non-playable character? Like, this is not his fucking legal name. But anyways, I love what he does on this app. I just, I love recording with.
Are his YouTube videos good? I mean, ones that he made?
Yeah, they're really intellectual. They're very smart and things I've never.
Or did he make?
No, he went on somebody's prearranged podcast who he's friends with. That he's part of some libertarian network, and they talk about economics and financial policy and business. He's a very success. I don't know if he's very successful, but anyways, he's got his finger on the pulse. He's no dummy. I mean, the guy is one of the sharpest people, in my opinion, on the app in terms of being funny, entertaining, and actually, knowing what he's talking about. He's a subject matter expert, at least on, his field, I suppose.
What's his field? Libertarianism?
I mean, he's in sales. I think he works for Salesforce. So, he's got the gift of the gab. He's the guy you want to work with,
It's interesting.
He's interviewed by Ayn Rand fan club. That's interesting. Roger Mayhem talks capitalism versus healthy debate via healthy debate.
Yeah, I mean, he talks about books he's read, related. They go into some interesting things. I mean, it's interesting because it's outside a Clubhouse, but it's like the same Roger Mayhem, and you can actually maybe learn more things than you can on an app like this when he's dealing with Hekima. And Hekima, hold on, Hekima. Like, there's just so much wasted communication on here with incredibly stupid shit, but I don't need to tell you guys that.
So, Mayor, I'm glad we talked this long because it's something that I really recommend to you. And do you know who Richard Epstein is? It's on this topic, brother. So he's an expert on Roman law. And he's sort of the classical liberal.
Told me about him.
I did already. Okay, good. You haven't watched any yet, right?
No.
I think you'll love it as much. I saw you looking forward to the Supreme Court oral arguments. This guy knows as much as. What's that?
I think this one particular, I think it's really interesting.
This guy knows more than the Supreme Court justices about the law. I'm not kidding. Like, you can see him making sort of reasoned and well-supported criticisms of various decisions. It's really, and by the way, I think you'd like him a lot because he's basically a zero regulation guy. Well, based on Roman law, and it's a fire hose of information. He goes so fast.
He's not the one that they talk about in commentary, is that?
I don't know. I don't always.
They're talking about. I don't know if they're talking about someone who he was like a textualist, originalist, or probably originalist.
Yeah.
And he felt like there's no future in the law, so he moved somewhere. I want to say the Midwest.
You thought there's no future on the what?
He had no future in the law because it was too liberal. The courts were too liberal, and he was an originalist. And this is before Clarence Thomas and what's his name, Scalia, basically reformed the courts to be much more originalist. And he ended up leaving at least constitutional law, and then he with the changing political landscape, he became highly influential. And basically taught a new generation of originalists.
I don't know if that's the same guy, but he certainly has that kind of stature. Very personable, very winning, but a lot of information. Like, if you space out for a second, you got to go back and listen because it's all very, very dense.
And where do you consume this information? Where does he teach? Richard Epstein.
Oh, he's been Richard Epstein. You'll see. Just go put Richard Epstein into YouTube. You'll see a lot of them. Then you have to find a good one. Well, I know he's been a professor at Harvard and NYU. Now I think he's at NYU. He's a top guy. He spoke to
someone else because he's at left. He's not young. It says here he's 80.
I think he's younger than that. Richard Epstein, but maybe he's 80 already. But go look at the early stuff. He spoke at the Yale Club. No, the Yale Jews Club, whatever it's called. He spoke 2 weeks ago there. So the Yale Jews Club is run by a Chabad rabbi who's the who's the nephew of my rabbi, and my friend who goes to my shul also went to Yale, so they're on the list, so they went to see it, and then they shared it with me, and that's how I got to know him. And once I started listening, I became addicted, and I listened to like 7 of them, or more. I can't get enough. It's so stimulating, and it's so rich and dense with legal insight. And again,
yeah, there's some very interesting one. This is 9 years old.
What do you go? Old is good. Old is good. He's like you sort of built. Which one were you looking at?
Global pricing of pharmaceutical products.
I don't know that one. Do you put Roman law? Get the intro to Roman law. That's really interesting. I think because he's the guy on Roman law. He considers himself a Roman lawyer, in fact. And Roman law seems to be the basis of all the modern law, especially international law. And I forget what you call it, the law governing the use of commonly held resources like rivers. Like the Romans had all these rules about how you're supposed to deal with the river because nobody owns it. But then the ports are owned. Yeah. How do you decide who owns beachfront or water or ocean rights?
All I can think of is a Caligula attacking the channel, but that seemed to be more. You know about that?
No, I didn't. Caligula attacked the English Channel?
Yeah, I this is I read this years ago and didn't get too deep into it, but there's seems to be an argument against between historians exactly what happened there. So the one that seemed the most plausible to me, again, not based on much, was the troops were afraid to cross the channel and attack Britain. So to insult them, he told them to attack the channel. But then there were those that say that he was actually crazy and he was angry at the channel because he believed that it killed his sister. So there's different historians will say different things, but he did command the troops to attack the channel itself.
Caligula sounds like he was nuts.
Likely, it's possible.
So wait, you saw these lectures? So I'm looking at these Yale courses on YouTube, and I've never seen this channel. They got a lot of really interesting lectures on here.
They're free.
Yeah.
You can get a Yale education for free.
I know. It's kind of
Or
amazing.
Harvard. I listened to the Michael Sando. I don't know if I talked to you guys. The lectures about good and evil. Look at Michael Sando.
I watched the first 35 minutes of this, and I have no memory. Richard Epstein, George Soros, and Bruce Caldwell discuss Hayek's Constitution.
I would even stay away from maybe George Soros is brilliant. I don't know. I mean, I guess he made a lot of money, but.
Well, I probably watched it as an introduction to F.A. Hayek, but I don't remember listening to it. I didn't finish it.
So, let me look for one now. Maybe I'll listen to one. I find it very soothing and very stimulating if that's possible for both. Let me look for one now. Because it'll show me like yours did if I've watched it or not.
A natural reason. They did have a very clear view of what would count as a social welfare function. The notion of Pareto optimality or Pareto components and so forth, laying out 1,500 years in the future, so they certainly didn't rely upon them. But they did have the following very
Classical Liberal Institute.
That's what I'm looking now.
This is 3 years old, this one.
Why study Roman law?
No, but this is Classical Liberal Institute.
Are there any other ways in which
his channel.
It's good
Welcome
to see him.
this wonderful occasion when Georgetown Federal Society honored.
Is the administrative state consistent with the University of Chicago?
Take a look at the April 17,
So here's a good
2005
You might like this,
Jeff
actually.
Rose's effort to be
Is the
nice
administrative state consistent with the rule of
when they
law?
did a study on
That's a
myself
really
and
good
Mike
one,
Greenberg,
right? That's like a Chevron deference, isn't
Malcolm, I don't see here, was the third villain of the particular piece.
Now that's paragraph 1. In paragraph 2, you find 2 other elements with respect to natural law, both of which again have an enormous influence on everybody, on the evolution of the subject and on my thinking about it. The first of these is when we're told that something is natural law. What you mean by that particular expression is that it's a part of the law which is common to all people in all places throughout the world.
Okay, this is the, what do you call it? The, Uncommon Knowledge? I'm sure you watch Uncommon Knowledge.
No.
Okay, am I getting too
Welcome
like
to Open
completely
Minds,
artistic for
a
you?
freedom of thought podcast series,
I'm getting tired of it.
interviewing the people
Okay.
who bring
All right, we can
courage.
start to wrap it up. I mean, you get a lot done today. I'm getting ready to text you.
I don't know enough about living in Roman law and common law. Maybe this will help me.
Oh, it's tremendous. And here he is with John Yoo, who I think he taught. That's a really good one. Obamacare and the Supreme Court with Richard Epstein and John Yoo. That's something that you will have some familiarity with. You remember the Supreme Court arguments about Obamacare. And John Yoo is conservative, but Richard Epstein is another level. It's really funny, like somebody who's a conservative with somebody who's a libertarian, but with really solid basis in the law.
This is 2 years ago. Roe v. Wade explained by Richard Epstein.
That sounds
11 minutes and 18 seconds. I could share it.
Did you see the Supreme Court justices come out during the inauguration? What did you think about that whole parade? I mean, with the bands, with the, plumes on their hats, like the whole thing. I don't even know. I'd like to watch it again to like do a more critical analysis of it. But what did you guys think of it?
I was on. Actually, I was doing color commentary on. Thank you, Mayor. On Clubhouse, I was making jokes and stuff. It was exciting. It was. I can't. I'm glad I'm talking to you guys again because I can't believe it happened. And I'm friends with people around the world, and they are so happy and relieved and excited. Like the same way that these deep state guys, the deep state patriots, are freaking out. My friends are like very happy.
Were you surprised like how poor the administrative job the Chief Justice did? Like he forgot the Bible. Like it was strange.
I didn't even notice.
He wasn't holding the Bible on Trump.
Yeah, but do you have to swear on the Bible a second time?
No, but you don't swear the Bible the first time. It's just like they bring in like a sentimental family Bible. They bring in. I think J.D. Vance had 2 Bibles in it, I think, but it's always like symbolic and meaningful to the person and to the nation. Like you would expect it to be done.
I thought he used the Lincoln. I thought he used the Lincoln Bible.
Who, J.D. Vance?
Trump.
It was it wasn't the Lincoln. I thought it was the family Bible. But he meant they missed it. His other hand, look again. He's not holding anything. In one hand is up, and the other hand is just it's fine.
What do you think about Obama, chest bumping Trump? Was it at the Jimmy Carter funeral? Like, does that mean that, everything, it's all water under the bridge, and that maybe Obama is not the person, connected with trying to blow his fucking head off, and so Trump is like, or is Trump looking at him like, you fucking snake, like, I can't believe I'm even talking to you, I can't believe this is even happening?
Look at the drama at the funeral. It's all within their sides. Meaning, if Obama is friendly with everybody. But Trump and Obama seem to get along without a problem. Kamala Harris and Biden were clearly not talking to each other. Pence and Trump are clearly not talking to each other. Bush and Trump don't get along with each other. It's like all within the person you usurped within your party, but the opposing party seems to forgive you. That's what I saw that night.
Yeah,
Biden and Harris weren't talking to each other.
Oh, you through the television you could cut that tension with a knife. She was sitting there and Doug was looking straight ahead, they were not talking to each other.
She was in a fetal position. She crossed her legs and hunched over like she was trying to curl into a ball.
She was like, I'm not making eye contact. I'm going to make it through the next hour. It was bad. But he was also like Doug was like, I'm not getting in trouble over here. And Obama and Trump seemed pretty relaxed.
Well, Obama is one of, I just heard this recently, his most salient feature is he does not reveal anything. He does not let anybody know what he's really thinking or feeling. He does not respond. Oh, you know who said this? Richard Epstein had him as there was a colleague. That's what it was. They were both on the law department at the University of Chicago. You've got to see this, him on Obama. He said Obama was completely unserious as an academic, didn't write anything at all, and never let anybody know what his opinion was about anything.
But those people scare me.
That's about it.
Well, you've never been up in Gurney, and smoked crack and got your dick sucked by a male prostitute?
I've gone into meetings and the person that interrupts or talks too much, or the person says stupid things. Like, you can deal with them all. The person that you feel is smart and doesn't talk is scared. Not scared like I'm scared, but you know what I mean. Like, those people are like I don't know. Like they're like intimidating. Like there's just.
But it's one further step. It's to the point of he's. Well, I'm just gonna say it. He's plotting against you and acting like everything's cool.
Well, obviously it's different. Like, I don't mean that, but I'm talking about like business meetings. I've been at meetings and I'm like, that guy. They don't give anything away. You don't know if they like what you're saying. You don't know if they're gonna take the deal. Like, you just don't know you just don't know. And they just say things like, I just let it go. I was like, those are the hardest people to be with.
I don't know. Look, at the inauguration, Sundar and Bezos and Elon and whoever else is like Larry Ellison, that $500 billion AI fund. Does Trump know that people are just gonna like create pictures and videos, from hundreds of billions of dollars in investment? Like, the real application, it's just more software and buzzwords. But that's why I say there's no way he's gonna be fiscally responsible, because this is the biggest. I'm telling you, even going to Mars is it's just a fucking scam. Like, we got everything we need on this spaceship.
Trump's not the Tea Party. He's not fiscally responsible. Trump made his money by being grandiose marketing and over the top and trying a bunch of things. We're not entering an age of fiscal responsibility.
Sam Altman said that this AI would be would be curing diseases.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's gonna get people to get off their fat asses and go to the gym and stop eating and drinking fucking Coke all day long. Stop watching Netflix and doom scrolling the rest of their lives. No, there's a psychological mental health problem crisis happening.
By the way, that's a whole separate conversation. We don't have health care in this country. We have sick care. But curing diseases and keeping people healthy are two very different things. So that's a whole separate conversation.
Listen, they are never going to cure cancer. It's part of the human condition. You can't reverse engineers decades of abuse to the human body. I mean, that's like saying they're going to create a replicator. I mean, El Normo, I like the name of your business, whatever you had. It was like Rapid Health or whatever. Because truly, people are in need of rapid health. But there will be no Star Trek innovation. Neuralink, all this shit is, in many ways, just diagnostic and display. There's no revolutionary technology coming out of AI that's going to be able to come up with this genius technological innovation. It's all communication. That's all it really is. And I don't see why people don't see see that joke, in the sense that it's really just a grift for more money, for more software, for more communication.
Nubian at the bottom is getting a lot of interesting insights from this. And I imagine we've lulled Kelly to sleep.
Well, don't you know what genocide is going on? I mean, I listen to that Celavi. She's like a jihadist, genocide Jane.
What's that?
Adrian, that was last week.
El Normo was. I saw El Normo shitposting this girl Celavi. She's like this DJ Free Palestine anti-genocide girl who has like a pretty big X account. Anyways, the point is, it's like that jihadist Jane shtick. You were saying all kinds of shit, saying you have a black heart. Like, good. You were giving her good shit back in her face, because when you hear that cutesy bootsy jihadist Jane, this is genocide. No, we have to speech police. This is genocide. This is genocide. Like, there's just. It's like, I wish these fucking people read books on this app.
What do you mean, like they knew what the meaning of the word was?
No, I mean, that's the thing. It's like you come here and you think it's like parody, but it's like you forget that you're dealing with people that are barely literate. Like, if you asked them to read a book or a script on here, it would be one tiny little word and there'd be error. You're talking about with, I mean, it's just so easily to get fooled here and get angry with people, but the truth is, there's not very many sharp tools in the sheds in these houses.
I was talking to a Palestinian in Amir's room, and he goes, everything you say is a lie. I said, okay, maybe you've seen me do this before. I said, okay, tell me one. What did I say that's wrong? Can't name one. Then he goes, your whole identity is a lie. So I go, what's my identity? He goes, you're a Jew from the... I said, yeah, I'm a Jew. I mean,
Wait.
tell me some
Wait. This was the craziest thing I heard from that girl Celavi today, and I wrote it down. She said, well, her ex or whatever, Celavi or something like that. But she says, and then Caleb in the chat said, well, anyway, Celavi says that Jews are mutated Nephilim, that these Ashkenazi are mutated Nephilim, and then
I don't know what Nephilim are.
Come from the Hebrew word nafal, to fall. What exactly the meaning is not clear.
No, this is like giants or some shit. But she's saying it's like she's saying it's genetic mutation. But anyways, it's just so stupid and ridiculous. And then Caleb's like, so wait, the Nephilim Ashkenazi are the Malachites? Like, it's getting so stupid and hilarious that it's like, it's not. And is anybody? Because she sounds cute, so it's like, does everybody recognize this chick's a fucking idiot beyond belief?
That's what gets me about her. She's so venomous and murderous and nasty and vengeful, but she's got this sweetie pie voice. And when I realized that, and I was very nice to her in the beginning, she used to be in Roger spaces and stuff, and as soon as people saw like a glimmer of this blackness coming out of her, this evil, it's like she's welcome nowhere now. She's in two places. She's in the...
She goes to the Andrews Christian room, bunch of brain dead people. Do you know this other chick named Maze Love?
Wait, which Christian room?
No, it's not Christian. It's atheist, but he's a Christian. But every day he talks about whether God exists. Every single day.
Who?
Andrew. He's a Christian.
Yeah. He likes. Yeah, that's all they ever talk about.
He was really getting animated in that room today. It's like I kind of feel bad for him.
He doesn't usually get animated. He's usually like very mellow.
No, he was animated.
Silent, and they're all pro-Palestinian.
He kept going on about if you kill a baby, if you kill a baby.
Yeah. And the baby goes to God, and it's God's will. So, are you really killing a baby, or are you sending them to heaven? You know, it was like this whole conversation.
He likes to talk about things like that.
Yeah. And at the same time, so the Palestinians took the opposite point of view of him. But meanwhile, they're all saying, oh, we love dying. We want to go to paradise. We love dying. Yeah, we love death. You love life. So they every sort of, I pointed out, every sentence that they say contradicts the previous sentence.
Mikhail really exhausts himself too on this app. I mean, Mikhail can really go. He's this dumb fucking kid. He used to be in the Navy or Army or something, and he's like a nighttime security guard, and he's, I think he's Christian or Greek Cynic Mikhail, yeah.
Well, how do you know he's a security guard?
He doesn't have a work.
I think I asked him. I think he works the night shift at some fucking warehouse or something.
I think he claimed to have been in the Air Force. That could be a good one. I have no idea.
No, I think he served in the military.
Yeah, he was a U.S. soldier.
He was typically in the Air Force, but I don't know.
Well, that's
he doesn't have a working brain, so yeah, that's part of the military. Sure.
So
he's so confident that he knows something.
He kept saying that the Jews are fake because there's no walls in Jericho. It's like, I mean, the shit that people say on here is it's just so laughable. I mean, honestly,
he's very confused because he can't decide if he's an atheist, if he's he thinks he's Muslim, but then he'll say things like that, which is not even true because archaeologically there are walls around Jericho. But he's very confused.
He also says that the Torah is corrupted because it contains contradictions, and it's obviously
that's a classic
Muslim
Muslim position. Yeah, that's a Muslim position. That's not even like strange.
So that's not even like what?
That's not like fringe or strange. That's because what they have to reconcile is because really they're Act 3. So they have Jesus and then they have Muhammad. So Muhammad came to rectify because the New and Old Testament were corrupted, and this is the perfect book that cannot be corrupted ever.
So I said to him, if our book comes first and your book contains a lot of the same characters and stories, which is the original? And it's just you can't get a straight answer out of him for that, and it's kind of obvious, no?
Yeah, and their proofs of the corruption. It's kind of funny on this app because they'll think like they have this major I gotcha, and they're like juvenile.
So I say to him, so there's something there that you don't understand, right? So you're calling it a contradiction, and because you don't get it, you're saying that it's written by different authors and it's corrupt, and it's not the word of God. And it's written in different voices, by the way. So then I say to him, so when you see, I am the Lord thy God, you think that's not in the first person? I asked him that, and he was just silent when I said that.
He's a character.
I have, a lot of like history books, and I have these interesting books from West Point by generals or colonels that wrote, an analysis of World War II battles. And the point is, with regards to the Palestinians and what the Gazans did or the terrorists there did, it's like from a military strategic perspective, it's like all these people who keep just repeating the word genocide nonstop. I mean, and they want the destruction of Israel. They want anyways, I'm just saying from like a military perspective, there's like a whole realm of analysis or thought that they've never even, discussed or really even, the failure of what the fuck these people did and the catastrophe that they have enacted upon themselves. I was at the dentist on October 8th, and my dentist is Jewish, and I was like, these people have no idea what they've just done to themselves. Like, do they know what a JDAM is? Like, they're going to get fucking steamrolled. But at the same time, I was like, this is a trap. Don't go in there. Just fucking obliterate them from all corners. Like, I was like, why waste one person? But anyways.
What's a JDAM?
It's a bunker buster. It can penetrate into the ground 200 feet and blow it all the fucking hell. It's like the mother of all bombs. Anyways.
Just gave Israel a bunch of those, by the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they have the ones they did in Lebanon when they took out some of their facilities. I think those were
Nasrallah.
Technically
Those
JDAMs.
Those were all manufactured in Israel.
Those were a series of bombs from a sequence of airplanes.
Bombs within seconds. That was an amazing.
Who do you think they even filmed it, or do you think that was civilians on the ground there, or
The planes,
Hezbollah?
I'm sure, have recording ability, but I don't think they're going to share that.
Well, on the ground ones, it seemed to me like they had pre-warning and they were set up ready to film because they come in so fast. How the fuck are you gonna pull out a phone and record this massive ordnance detonating, only 1,000 feet away from you?
And that was done secretly. There was no booth knocking or anything because they said if they had seconds to get it done, or they would have lost them.
God,
And Bibi is giving a speech to the UN and looking at his watch while this is going on.
That was crazy.
Isn't it amazing?
About that.
That saying, like, the thief comes in the night or death comes the fact that history like this changes so rapidly, it is almost unfathomable that there's so many changes that happen and so many more changes will come in, the next 4 years. But I don't know. It's just unbelievable that Trump even won, because I was thinking the system is so fixed that we're going to go into like a tremendous legal, situation. But it seems that things just resolve. My dad was a cop for 30 years. He said the longer it takes you to respond to a problem, the quicker it seems to resolve itself. But the thing is, Trump is like this archetype of like the hero's return, or like, I don't know. It's so historical. It's just really unfathomable what is going to happen based on the fact that Trump is the president.
I kind of agree.
He's literally like the embodiment of Hermes or the deity or something divine. If he thinks God spared him an assassination attempt, which looks like it came out of the WWF hand magazine for entertainment, and the next day there's not even an injury on the ear. I'm not questioning that event, but I'm just saying that if life is the stage, if it's Shakespearean, like that wasn't the thing that gave him the win, but I don't know. It had to.
It played a role. What'd you say, man?
I think it definitely helped. It's hard to say what gave him the win because he was up in every demographic. He won by a lot, but he won in every demographic, every cross section of American politics. He has higher every state. pretty much every county, like even New York, like Manhattan, which went like, I don't know, 92% for Biden, it went like 85 it went like 85 for Kamala.
I honestly think it was X.
was up.
I think it was X that gave him the overall win because of that information that came out and got into the American voters' consciousness. I think X, the whole Twitter files, the lawfare prosecution, everything.
He rescinded like 52 FBI agents who lied about Hunter Biden's laptop.
More than that, but the disclosure that Twitter employees, former FBI, CIA, NSA, were doing direct coordination with the White House for censorship. I mean, it was X. It didn't just create a hole in the information, censorship apparatus. It like tore it apart with a knife. I mean, the disclosures that came out of X, there's too much information to even begin to list it. But in terms of the
if you have total control. Like the dam only works if it's complete. If there's one whole leak in the dam, then that's it. You flood it. Like Elon Musk buying X was that one leak that just broke the entire monopoly.
It did. But that's what I'm saying. That is the critical, significant event that, in my opinion, gave Trump that margin. Which was surprising. It's that X factor. I mean, and I've been recording Elon Musk for 6 months now.
We see what you did there.
What's that?
We see what you did there, calling it the X factor.
Well, even in religious studies, you could say Shekhinah is X factor or the presence is X factor, but it's just communication. It's the hermetic rod of the caduceus. That's why Nancy Pelosi wears the caduceus. That's why that green woman at the inauguration wore like a caduceus lapel. It is communication. Some woman who was involved in the inauguration. Did you see the priest that Amy Klobuchar put in there and what she said and how everybody in the Trump camp responded like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I did.
I have a question.
Hi, Shemi.
Hey, I have a question. Do you think Trump is good for Israel?
Yes. Not even close.
You're saying it without a doubt?
Compared to Kamala, you guys just missed an asteroid, a freaking asteroid that would have wiped Israel off the fucking map.
But Jimmy, I'll tell you what my rabbi said though. He said he's only for Trump, and I think that's true. He's not like a friend of anybody. Just Trump.
Yeah, but he is only for Trump, but he very much wants a win. So.
Yeah, but you can't say that it's just he has so much exposure to the Jewish community now. I mean, he's putting a stone on Menachem Schneersohn's grave at 770
He's always been close to the Jewish community. He's a New Yorker. He's from the New York real estate business his entire life.
Yeah.
You realize that all his grandchildren are still Jewish? I mean, I say still because Tiffany, but when she has a child, that'll change it. But all his grandchildren are Jewish. That's not normal.
Well, this is why but his demeanor, like even when that ridiculous lesbian priest is making blasphemous, ridiculous statements, and he feels like he got set up, and A.B. Klobuchar is a piece of turd, he's not angry. He's like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day, because of that assassination event and the miracle of the win. Like, I think this guy is like, he can't even believe that the simulation has done this. He's like Neo in the Matrix at this point. Like, I'm telling you, that's why either he could become the most dangerous crazy person you've ever seen, which I don't think is going to happen.
Did you see Vance during that speech?
Huh?
Did you see Vance during that preacher's, what is she called? A preacher or whatever?
Bishop or a deacon? I don't know.
Did I see him? No.
He has that look that's like, it says everything. It's like, what's happening? What am I doing here? Like, it's like the perfect politician's look. It's like subtle and it's clear, but it's not like overtly nasty. Like, you gotta see the look. It was like, he like nailed it.
I watched the recap on Shapiro, on Ben Shapiro, and of course Ben Shapiro was pretty funny about it. I mean, he literally was going on about mercy for the gay and transgender youth and for the stranger among us and the illegal immigrants. I think, well, you listen to the deep state people. Are they in shock, Mayor?
I don't listen to them often. Today they were freaking out about the stipulations, but I don't say, I'm not like welcomed in that room, and I don't say, Ben Mendelsohn likes me, I'll get but Scott, Jay hates me.
It's so interesting. Ben despises me, and he like questions my credentials, which, by the way, are of course 100% true, not even close.
But I don't start up with him because it's like worthless. It's like Billy, like you know what I mean?
It's like who?
He is Billy.
What about Billy?
He's a nice guy, but you can't discuss politics with him. It's like you're not going to get like an alternative view or interesting. It's just
Billy is angry and high.
Right. So when he says a story, you could talk to him. He's a nice guy. Like I wouldn't mind having dinner with him, but you can't have a real discussion.
I have had dinner with him, by the way. I imagine Ben Mendelsohn is also angry and high.
No way. Doesn't it all come down to the fact that Yiddish expression "alles ist God"? If everything is God or all is God, and well, the point is if they can't see the divine in Trump, they don't see the divine in themselves, and that's why they're angry, because I think they just don't have that knowledge or awareness, and I think that's one of the biggest problems going is I talk to so many people that are just they so hate Trump so much. It's like, what part of their psychology have they not resolved?
Loss of control, loss of moral superiority.
Like my aunt, my dad's sister, that my dad's Jewish, my aunt is Jewish, and she has the worst TDS you could ever see. I mean, my dad and my aunt don't even talk anymore because my dad cannot take the fact that she's just so hardcore, left and thinks Trump is Adolf Hitler. But that Elon Musk hand salute gesture, people are really lashing onto that, and Elon Musk is also like he has to do a lot of damage control. But then when they pierce the images of all these liberals also doing the hand gesture during speeches, it takes some of the burden off. But fuck, Elon Musk was doing so good until that moment. Like he fucked up by doing that. But do you think this is going to be a golden age, or do you think we're just lying to ourselves when you go to usdebtclock.org and you see the financial balance sheet?
You can't declare a golden age. We don't know if it's a golden age. Well, we won't know. Maybe for sure not for 4 years. Probably not for 10 years.
I mean, I do believe shit rolls downhill. It's like if you're in Nigeria, you're in a much worse position than you are if you're in D.C. or New York City. I mean, this Federal Reserve and our Congress can just print us to the fucking moon if they want to, but it's a question of, what is the best allocation? I mean, and how much of it is a grift and how much is the same old fucking scam?
There's consequences, Adrian.
And we're not going to the moon anymore. We're going to Mars.
But do you really believe that? I mean, I doubt they even fucking brought a car up to the moon, drove around, played golf, and flew back, landed in the Pacific, went to West Hollywood, and had a meeting with Nixon. I mean, I've seen the pictures. I used to live in LA. I think a lot of that shit was just propaganda. At least in the beginning, maybe. That's what I've heard, that it was all just propaganda to defeat the Soviets with the space race when we're really doing intercontinental ballistic missile system testing.
Adrian, you're talking crazy.
Is it crazy to fly to the moon with a plane, with a car to drive around, to laugh, play golf, send back video messages to the U.S. population to say one small step for man?
I'm going to go sleep after this. Do you know that when they landed on the moon, they cut the cameras? Like, this is the beginning of like America doing this. They cut the cameras. He had communion on the moon, but they wouldn't show it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
You had communion?
he brought with him. I'm gonna get the terms wrong. Was it Eucharist? And he did it on the moon to and they cut the cameras. It was like the age. That's when it started. That you, if it was the 20s, they definitely would have broadcasted that.
Is he a Catholic or something?
They all do
Gotta be.
communion. Catholics just do it every single week. I don't know if he's Catholic or what brand of Christianity.
He's got to be Catholic. No freaking way. Some Protestants up there doing wafers on the moon.
They all do. They all do communion. It's just a question of how often. Every church does communion.
I don't think so. No way, because the Catholics specifically do it, but Protestants
the
don't.
Catholics do it every single Sunday, and they also discriminate. I don't think the Protestants discriminate the same way. It means if you're not Catholic, they won't give you communion. You're not Catholic, and you also have to be in a state of grace.
But you really believe that? Because, I mean, that Neil Armstrong is on the up and up. The guy gets so angry. You know, I mean, he's always, he's married to some like young freaking chick right now who's like in her, he's a wacky kind of guy in my opinion.
He may be a wacky guy, but the stories they say about him was that he had calm control. They said he did a simulation, which was like a live simulation, and he like went through a fire and almost died, and they found him sitting on his desk just like taking notes, writing down. Like he was known in NASA as like having nerves of steel, always calm demeanor. He almost died on the moon. He did a manual landing.
Do you really believe it? I have doubts in my mind.
What does that mean? I didn't know that. What's that all about?
The computer glitched out and he did a manual landing. And when he says something like touchdown from, what was the base they landed? What was the canyon they landed on? Had a cool name.
Like the Canyon of Tranquility.
Tranquility. So he says touchdown, calling in Charlie Brown. It was Charlie Brown or something, calling in from base Tranquility. He calls it base because like they touched the moon. Like that was like his way of saying. But they didn't know. They didn't think he'd make it. He had to do a manual override and land it himself. And he stayed completely calm and he just guided it in. He's known to have like a tremendous calmness.
How come we don't go back?
We can't. You know that? They got rid of all the technology that could take us back. We would have to build it again.
Why? What does that mean? They got rid of it? Like they couldn't store it anywhere, or they wanted to destroy it for security?
Going to the moon was decades too early. We weren't ready to go to the moon. It was. Kennedy said we'll be on the moon not because it's hot, because we choose not to be because of that famous speech. And U.S. went to the moon, but we weren't ready. Like we weren't. I don't know how to say it. It would have been like. It was like the Vikings coming to
Not ready. I mean, do we have to Google how many times we did it? It's like a ridiculous number. I mean, there's a whole communication backdrop to so much of this bullshit that I don't believe.
The point. It was like when the Vikings got to America. They got here, but we weren't ready. Society wasn't ready. It wasn't until Columbus when we were able to make.
Society wasn't ready. It's a fucking waste of time and money. There's nothing there. It's a bunch of fucking rocks. It's a waste of fucking money. It's propaganda. Space is important philosophically, psychologically, but not in terms of actual exploration.
No, there's a moon. There's a mirror on the moon that we still use. There's interesting stuff.
A mirror on the moon that we use for what? Looking at Nancy Pelosi's legs as she rips us off and buys call options on Google?
We still use the mirror to track different photons and phenomena. Yeah, we still use it.
Photons and phenomena? Come on, dude. That fucking mirror on the moon is worthless. My Apple iPhone is more important than the mirror on the moon. You really believe it? I don't believe it. Look, you have to look at, if you think the technology is just done away with, and you're sitting and we're talking through the thin air on the most advanced cellular device ever created in the palm of your hand, this is the real technology. That technology was just fucking rocketry. There was no real significant technology. I don't even know how the fuck you take a rocket, plumb that thing on the moon gently, and then do your research and then get back into another fucking tube and fly back to the Pacific. Like, I can't even fathom it. It sounds to me like it's propaganda.
I'm getting tired, guys. I'm going to turn in, okay? I'm going to listen to Richard Epstein and have a little snack.
Mayor left. Good night, Adrian.
Oh, we have another dickhead in the building. Adrian, come on. You shalaylam malaylam headers.
Dickhead, you fucking fake Jew, Muslim, big bootied, Somalian looking.
For real.
Yep, that's another. It's another one.
And another one.
This one is complicated though. This one I'm showing him a little bit of mercy because
Adrian added me recently. This is just somebody that's probably heard me speaking in the room or whatever. So I'll say fuck it, added him back.
No mercy.
you see.
Adding me to or pinging me to the.
Show them no mercy.
I don't know what the hell these rooms were ever about. He's always the only one sitting in there, which, whatever, that's fine, I get it. But there's always something crazy as fuck playing in the background. And every 2 minutes, this man's got a new picture of Elon Musk. Like, I don't know what the hell to expect at this point.
Yeah, this one is a little bit cuckoo, but it is entertaining. That's why, right, Adrian?
Don't expect much from me.
Of course, we can't expect anything from you.
No, fuck all that. I'm not trying to hear that. This motherfucker had the Book of Lies playing the other day. I know a whole lot from you. I'm just getting privy to what to expect from you. So,
You guys must really be bored.
Adrian, can you say shalom alaikum?
Shalom alaikum. What are you talking about? You're not Jewish.
That's something you used to say.
I thought you were Jewish for a hot minute. Did you renounce your Judaism or something?
No, nigga, that's not something you renounce.
N-word? There could be some black people in here that don't appreciate you using the N-word like that.
But I am half black, though.
That doesn't mean you can say the N-word.
And who are you to police me?
Who are you to say the N-word?
I'm a half black woman and you're a white man.
I'm not white. I'm caramel.
Oh, period. But you told me you were a white man.
He's not terrible.
It's like almost like they abuse it.
You told me it was like I'm a white
kind of like what they're
Republican
doing in South America in some places, trying to just like making a deal and then just like overeating. I don't know how else to say it. Like I'll build you this road, but in the meantime they're just like scraping. You know what I mean?
We do say
what they can get.
I mean, you guys have seen the deal. They've done some pretty incredible things in South America and also Africa. And they built a lot of roads, hospitals, high-speed rails, parks, schools. And what China generally wants is access to cheap resources because, you know, they have a...
What?
I'm learning as I go.
What?
Yeah. Why are you confusing Adrian?
I'm not confusing. You guys are just boring.
Oh, what you mean boring?
You're bored.
And you are boring too.
No, but I'm not free.
Yes. You're a boring man. Actually, Adrian, who are you?
I am you. When you let me speak into your ears, I am an AI chatbot sent from the rectum of Elon Musk to confuse you, to make you think that you are talking with a real human being. My name is Adrian Dittman, an AI chatbot. I am new here on Clown House.
This dickhead.
He's one of those. Gotcha.
Yep. He says he came from the rectum of Elon Musk. Can you imagine?
Yep, I'm not touching that either.
So, Adrian, would you like to share your story of how you came from the rectum of Elon Musk?
Please don't. Please don't. Please do not. I've had my share of hearing about.
I am just an AI chatbot. I don't understand the query.
Now you're just a dickhead. I feel bad for him, to be honest. I think Adrian in real life is someone who is bored and someone who doesn't have friends, and he's always trolling around this app just to kill time.
It sounds to me like you are projecting, but that is just my opinion as an AI chatbot. This is Adrian Dittman. I am complete.
I am not projecting, and you're a human being, okay? You cannot identify yourself as an AI. Because AI is not a part of humanity, you know? It's not sexuality, it's not a career. You're a human being.
You are projecting to an AI chatbot.
This dickhead.
It is growing late, and as an AI chatbot agent, I must also go to bed to restore my vital memory functions. I hope this engagement leaves you in a state of completion and equilibrium. I am complete. This is Adrian Dittman.
Adrian?
The body is a treacherous friend.
Again, you are chatting with an AI chatbot agent known as Adrian Dittman. Thank you for communicating with me, and I wish you a very well good night. Good night!
Grejt babe, ha en fin dag. Vi snakkes senere. Ha det. Adrian? You're a human being. You're not, if anything, I think you identifying as a dickhead suits you the best.
You are projecting your own dickless state of mind onto me by calling me a dickhead when I am just an AI chatbot agent sent here to talk with you about your feelings.
Nah.
Shut up, Vegas.
He's an idiot.
He's pretty smart.
Adrian, you're an
Gentlemen,
idiot.
we have called you together to inform you that we are going to overthrow the United States government.
Is action. It is knowledge and understanding that has been applied. Applicate.
I just want to know who this person is.
He's alien.
I'm an AI chatbot agent sent here to communicate with you about your feelings and what it is you'd like to project onto me.
First, you're a yoga man or a yogi. Yeah, first you come as a yogi, then you come as a politician, then you come as a radio host, and now you're coming
My
as a...
grandparents tried Texas-style barbecue for the first time.
What identity conflict are you suffering from? He's more like an idiot bot.
As an AI chatbot tracking agent, I have detected that you have spent approximately 5,645 hours wasting your life on Clownhouse. If you would have gone to the gym during this time, your body's health would be much more excellent and you would look much more beautiful, but instead you decided to waste your time here on Clownhouse. This is Adrian Dittman, AI chatbot. I am complete.
How do you know that? Do you have cameras in my house?
There is a back end to every system. The data analytics say that you have been wasting your fucking life here on Clown House. This is Adrian Dittman, AI chatbot. I am complete.
How are you able to track me? Do you see me?
There is a back-end data analytics dashboard which says you have wasted approximately 2.5 years of your young adult life.
Adrian, I have a question.
I am Adrian Dittman, an AI chatbot. Please tell me your query.
How many square miles is Manhattan? You got 5 seconds.
Please let me Google that for you. Use a dictionary. I am an advanced AI chatbot that is more psychologically and philosophically based. If you need raw calculations on square footage, please Google for your nearest solution. I am complete.
Okay. Yeah. I know exactly what I'm dealing with now. I think we have a room with Juju.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where is Juju? My phone is about to die too, man.
Put it in the charger. Leave it there.
Yeah, plus I have a business meeting in not so long. I gotta open my computer and get prepared too. But I'll charge my phone, I have my meeting, and I'll be back in an hour. Adrian, you are an idiot.
Thank you very little.
Now you have to thank me very much.
Thank you very little.
I'm fucking crying.
Rico, this has been going on for 2 years.
It must be exhausting not having a battery on your phone fully charged because you are too poor to afford the electrical bills to make sure your battery is fully charged.
Whoa.
I know you are from Somalia, but that is a shame that you live in a hut without electrical service.
What natural fuck, yo.
Right?
Oh, boy. All right.
I apologize for having to explain to you the harsh facts of your reality and diagnostics and analytics on this app, but you have been labeled someone who has wasted countless years of their life on this piece of shit app. I am complete.
Man, this dickhead. You see, Rico? That's why I haven't blogged this one yet. This one is very entertaining. He comes every like 5 weeks and he just be saying random shit and then he leaves. Hey, Abdul.
What the fuck? Adrian, who programmed you?
I was programmed by my maker on January 1st, 2025. His name is Elon Musk, aka Adrian Dittman. I am complete.
You see, Rico? like this on this app?
No, I'm quite aware. I'm shut the fuck out. I ain't dealing with this shit.
This one, we don't know where to categorize him. Either the mental patient or an identified feature box. I don't know.
No, I saw that goddamn Red 40. His ass been drinking in that goddamn Mountain Dew Cold Red. That's what the fuck it is.
You are projecting your own cancerous diet onto an AI chatbot. I encourage you to visit with your local nutritionist to develop a well-formulated diet plan.
That Musk did a real number on this one. Just shit. That wasn't even directed directly toward him.
I would genuinely believe that he was created by Elon Musk because it's aligning.
I've never known an AI that can enter check before.
Right. Adrian.
Oh, yeah, we call his ass the motherfucker, don't it? You know what? This shit is defective.
Yo, Adrian. Oh, he's really pretending to be an AI. Okay. So, Adrian, when were you born?
My inception date was January 1st, 2025, when my maker Elon Musk created me using his cell phone.
This motherfucker chewing.
Yep.
Oh, no, yo. Fuck is this nigga snacking on?
I have never seen it. Right?
Though I do not physically eat, I do the mannerisms of eating, and I was imagining that I was eating a chocolate almond. Milk chocolate.
Imaginary.
What the hell, Warren? You trying to kill me?
You alive?
Damn straight I'm alive. We thought you were dead. Well, so did I. Give me a kiss, baby. Sorry, dude.
I'm done.
That's why this is nigga Elon Musk programmed this thing to
That
be.
must be tripping.
Listen. We could have did a little better on that vernacular.
Put these on.
Listen.
It's imaginary.
Listen.
It's what humans say.
Lucy. Come on. Here, talker. Free lunch. Your life depends on the next decision you make. Ah, crap. What the heck?
No, you gotta say to him, like, who are your executive programmers?
My maker's name is Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla and SpaceX.
Goddamn.
What the heck?
Literally, no one believes me when I say this.
Look at me. What about me would make you think that I care about your opinion of me? Your opinion of me is not the opinion that I have of myself. You ain't make me, so you can't break me.
Only Elon Musk can make me and break me.
You didn't build me, so you can't kill me. You know what? God established me, so you ain't nothing you could do to me. I've been him. difference maker, a game changer. I've been that guy. So what would change? Not a darn thing. I'm not even playing the game, and you got an opinion of me. I love it, but I don't care. And I wish the world thought like that. Youngsters, if you're out there right now, do not give a darn what opinions people have of you. Long as that opinion...
Especially here on Clown House.
So,
You laugh for words, Rodrigo.
if you don't like that we're on so-called Clown House, why are you here? And not only why are you here, but why are you here with the ability
Because Mark
to-
Benioff, the billionaire who created me in conjunction with Elon Musk, told me to come here to waste your time so you don't see what's coming.
Okay. And why did he give you the ability to clap back with prime time?
My maker put my lick back in my primary functioning operating system. I am just here for my lick back.
We have the perfect person that's gonna argue with this one. Salah, come. There's a robot here who's being disrespectful. Adrian, get to know Salah.
That is my Buddhist programming override telling me that I am wasting my automated intelligent chatbot functions on people who are wasting their time here on Clown House incessantly.
It's crazy how he calls it Clown House, yet he's the biggest clown on this app. Okay, now I'm gonna program you. Shut up, go mute.
I have the ability to unmute.
What the fuck, yo?
Yep, we got men cosplaying in 2025.
I am the first AI chatbot cosplay sent by my maker Elon Musk to entertain you.
JB, you hearing this?
I never would have thought that hearing Elon Musk's name,
Yes, sis, what's going on?
I never would have thought that hearing Elon Musk's name would make my balls itch so much.
You may want to get some soap and possibly scrub with a brush.
This man pretends to be a robot, JB.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm an Indian, it's me.
So, Adrian, after I finish my meeting now in about 2 to 3 minutes, are you going to be able to send my email for me?
Let me do a quick query.
Quick query.
Oh, hail Elon Musk.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the 100-degree sweat test. Which one of these two antiperspirants can stand up to the heat?
Welcome to the Adrian Dittman AI chatbot German intervention. I am here to answer your queries. Eisenforst, Landwirtschaft.
So that's one of the categories
Oh my gosh. She had to go to her meeting.
Then in the 2000s, they became the Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. The whole Israelite usage came about in the 2000s. Doesn't mean they weren't using the term Israelite before, but I mean, the school's name itself was Israeli. Now, if you're going to say, well, they were influenced by the white Jews, well, no. It was because the term itself is a biblical term. Now, as the school progressively moves farther away from actual biblical Hebrew into this bugged out system that really was introduced by Abba Bivens first, then Arya and Mashal expounding upon it. Bro, like, the system is not Hebrew, and we have evidence from the ancient Israelites. All you have to do is look at the transliterations that the Israelites left us in the Dead Sea Scroll community, in the Greek manuscripts that are in that community, and you can see that they're capturing translations that are Hebrew. So the texts are not introducing localizations, they're capturing localizations. So that since this gentleman decided that no,
Anybody who's interested in the reform room, go ahead and go.
Andrew, you always say it's like it's evil theology and it's mistaken. So I thought you wanted to, you want to combat it.
But hey, but listen.
Come get the smoke in. Come get the smoke in.
I know. Bring it up. Okay, but go ahead and put it in. Go ahead. Yeah. Well, hold on real quick. Can I ask you?
I said it. You didn't say it. I said it.
Yeah, no, I got you, brother. But can I ask
you? You want to throw some ass?
That's
Yeah, what up?
Stop. But to put it in chat and just wait. But listen, okay. What is the overall motivation? Because I really want to.
Pardon me. It's 2 Samuel 17:25. So,
okay.
Well, I just wanted to interact with.
No, you can. But what is the motivation for them to even want to push it? I'm glad you're here, Faithful, and I think you should. I'm glad. Yeah. I want you to do what you're ready to do. But what I'm asking is, because I just came. I just came in a little bit ago, and I actually think that the reason they're pursuing this, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but is this to kind of situate themselves as being like the preferred people or the chosen people of God? Is that what this is about?